This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The search for Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie's mother is entering day 6, and a deadline stipulated in a ransom note has come and gone. 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie's son, Cameron, has released a video addressing the kidnapper or kidnappers.
We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom.
Pima County, Arizona Sheriff Chris Nanos.
Right now, we believe Nancy is still out there. I really want you to know this entire team and our community are hurting with you. We really just want mom back.
Officials have confirmed bits of blood found outside Nancy Guthrie's home in Tucson do belong to her. Brutal winter weather not letting up in the eastern portion of the country. Extreme cold watches, warnings, and advisories are in effect right now from Ohio to Maine. CBS New York meteorologist Tony Sadiku.
This might be on pace for our coldest winter in 30 years. That's the difference this next round of Arctic air will make. Wind chills down 15 to 30 below zero. That's Saturday into Sunday. And you can't forget about the winds, too, because this is going to be a serious part of this story.
Police have arrested a Maryland man accused of plotting to murder White House Budget Director Russell Vought.
26-year-old Colin DeMarco faces attempted murder charges after he showed up at Vaught's Northern Virginia home wearing a surgical mask, gloves, and a backpack. DeMarco allegedly compiled notes about stashing weapons and disposing of bodies. Court records show he was plotting to kill the presidential appointee with the initials RV. Sources confirmed to CBS News the target was Russell Vought. DeMarco told agents the 2024 election was the lowest point of his life, and he feared impending war and a fascist takeover. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A Russian military official was shot and wounded this morning. The BBC's Steve Rosenberg has details from Moscow.
64-year-old Vladimir Alexeyev is deputy head of Russian military intelligence. Around 7 o'clock this morning, local time, in his Moscow apartment block, the lieutenant general was shot several times, reportedly in the back. The gunman fled. The Russian general was rushed to hospital. He's said to be in a serious condition.
The curtain lifts on the Winter Olympics in Italy tonight. U.S. skier Lindsey Vonn vows to compete despite tearing her ACL last week. CBS's Kelly O'Grady from Milan.
Cortina is one of her very favorite horses. And she knows this like the back of her hand, all the bumps, the turns, everything.
Vonn's just posted a photo to X showing her smiling bright. This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to CBS News Roundup on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
At 6:03, we have clear skies, 36 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, February 6th. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Scott Jagow. He missed out on the Blues in 2012, but billionaire David Hoffman says he isn't giving up on sometime owning a major team in his hometown.
Hoffman says after he finalizes his purchase of the Pittsburgh Penguins, his next target is the St. Louis Cardinals. Speaking at a St. Louis Business Journal event, Hoffman said he wants to absorb the Penguins acquisition over the next 2 years before making a move for a baseball franchise. While he acknowledges the Cardinals are not currently for sale, Hoffman says he has made his interest clear. KMOX called up Patrick Risch, director of the sports business program at Washington University, and asked him how often a would-be buyer goes public like this.
It usually means where there's smoke, there's fire.
But Risch says should the DeWitts actually sell, Hoffman being a Washington, Missouri native is important.
Not that the Cardinals were in jeopardy of being relocated to another market, but I do believe that it is always beneficial. It's certainly a plus factor to have someone that has local ties, more commitment to the community, more engaged with the community, understands how to reach the community. And certainly all of those things right now, if ever, have never been more important than with this particular Cardinals organization that is really going to need to do a lot of community work to kind of build back fan interest in light of what's happened over the last few years.
Bill DeWitt III tells KMOX in a statement, quote, "Our family remains committed to St. Louis and the Cardinals. We have no plans to sell the team." Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
It appears a fire at the makeshift plywood warming shelter for the city's unhoused at 10th and Cass was intentionally set.
Before the fire, the Good Samaritan, known as Prop Man, who built the structure, talked with Mayor Kara Spencer.
But as far as the homeless encampments, we have invested as a city in homelessness this winter in unprecedented ways.
Spencer says Prop Man asked the city for help taking down the structure because of illegal things that were happening there. As Fire Captain Garen Mosby tells KMOX, the structure was not destroyed.
So the walls and the roof of the structure are still intact, but moderate damage to the flooring part. In fact, we sent a company back there because there was some smoldering, which means that they'll have to do more overhaul. Explaining that for your listeners, just peeling back the layers, even more of the floor, so that we can ensure that it is fully extinguished.
Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Burglars broke into a Pacific, Missouri car dealership overnight. They found keys to some vehicles, then they drove off. Our partners at Fox 2 report the thefts happened at Tyler Trinary Jeep Dodge Ram. Large glass windows were shattered.
Voters in 97 Missouri counties will be asked in April whether they want to put a cap on property taxes. It comes after a Cole County judge denied a motion to block the vote, claiming lawmakers improperly enacted the caps during a June special session. The case will still go to trial, so even if voters approve a cap, it still may not happen.
It's officially time for St. Louis native Cardinal Timothy Dolan to say goodbye to his flock in New York City. Later today at St. Patrick's Cathedral, there in Midtown Manhattan, the new Archbishop of New York will be installed. Former Joliet Bishop Ronald Hicks. Our religion editor Fred Bottomer has more.
Exactly 1 year ago to the day, Cardinal Dolan celebrated his 75th birthday and by church law had to offer the Pope his resignation. Now on his 76th birthday, he'll take part in the elaborate service to install his successor. While Cardinal Dolan says he'll continue to live in New York City, he's not forgetting about St. Louis.
I'll be able to spend some more time at home with my beloved nieces and nephews and my brothers and sisters.
And Cardinal Dolan tells Fox News he looks forward to doing all the fun priestly things, like conducting masses and baptisms and weddings, along with some possible speaking gigs. He'll remain eligible to take part in any possible papal conclave until he reaches the age of 80. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The bass voice behind the legendary singing group The Fifth Dimension and St. Louis native Lamont McLemore has died at age 90. In an interview a decade ago with WGHT Radio, McLemore talked about growing up poor.
At one time, I used to read all these travel magazines and all. I said, Grandma, I sure wish I could go around the world like this, but I know I'll never be able to. She said, you know something, stand up. So I stood up. She said, now take a step. I said, I did. She said, now you're one step closer. And I never stopped stepping.
McLemore was a 1952 graduate of Sumner High School.
From the KMOX business desk, you just heard in the newscast about David Hoffman's dreams of owning the Cardinals someday. Meanwhile, as new chairman of the Post-Dispatch, he says the paper has drifted a little too far left, and he intends to bring it back to the middle. The billionaire officially took control of the paper's parent company, Lee Enterprises, yesterday after closing a $35 million stock deal.
Speaking at a Business Journal event, Hoffman says he isn't a Democrat or a Republican because, quote, both buy ice cream, and he wants the paper's reporting to reflect that neutrality. Hoffman says he plans to move the printing of the Post-Dispatch to Washington, Missouri within 30 days.
Coming up, we're going to check traffic and weather together. It is 6:08.
It's a great time, if there's ever a great time, to purchase a furnace or an air conditioner. I know it's winter. We got some great pricing. You can get 0% financing. So if you have been told that you need a new furnace, definitely give me a call. I could probably save you lots of money. Get a second opinion. Call me. Next day installs for your furnace so you won't be without heat. Very long. A furnace average install about 2-3 hours for a furnace. So not a big issue to do it now. And like I said, great pricing. So if that's you, call me. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Just the easiest number. And there's one. 314-293-2600. Again, 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, it is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, Let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
6:10 at Total Information AM. I'm Megan Lynch alongside Scott Jagal. Let's get a check of the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Friday mornings tend to be lighter, Megan, so we'll hope that holds true this morning. Right now, it certainly does. I mean, this time of morning, we'd have to have some sort of an incident to see any sort of delays. There's just not enough folks out on the highways at this time of the morning. So good runs if you do leave this time of day. I think it's usually clear sailing ahead. So speed limit traffic all the way around, even in the construction zones. Well, you should slow down in the work zones, obviously, but nothing's holding you up down in Festus or north of Bales on 55, 270 between 64 and Ladue, 70 out west between Warrenton and Wentzville look good. And on the Illinois side, we're still smooth sailing westbound across the Poplar and Muswell Veterans Bridges so far for you as well. Next update at 6:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sunshine for the most part today. It'll become breezy this afternoon, or high 48. It'll remain breezy early tonight, clear to partly cloudy and colder later tonight, low 23. Sunshine mixing with clouds tomorrow. A chilly day, high only 38. Sunday, clouds and some sunshine and becoming warmer, the afternoon high 53. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Thank you, Joe. Right now, it's 30 in St. Peter's. We have 34 in Florissant. Clear skies throughout the region. It's 36 downtown at the Arch.
I'm Joe Pod. Could the Cardinals be looking at a reunion for 2026? I'll tell you more about that coming up in sports.
No, that's not right.
Couple
Not
minutes,
yet.
couple
A little
minutes
bit-
early,
a little bit
Megan.
longer
Let's go back to the news.
sports.
Let's go back to the news.
All right.
6:12. A St. Louis woman faces 5 felony charges for acts committed inside a Kirkwood restaurant. Kirkwood police say they arrested 31-year-old Leah Moorhead Wednesday night after she allegedly threw a bowl of soup and a chair at a wasabi server, then fired a shot at him. Officers say the bullet narrowly missed a child and became lodged in a refrigerator.
Moorhead was reportedly upset over a food order and that she thought employees were calling her names. She's charged with multiple counts, first-degree assault, armed criminal action, unlawful use of a weapon, child endangerment, and causing property damage.
Illinois Senator Dick Durbin, with help from some colleagues, advocates, and even a famous actor, are pushing for legal changes to the internet.
Apologies and too little too late reforms are not enough. We need to do more, and we need to do it now.
Durbin, along with Senator Lindsey Graham, have introduced a bill that would eliminate Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act of 1996, which provides legal protections to major websites and platforms when it comes to content from third-party users.
Sunsetting Section 230 could force big tech to the table to negotiate real reform that provides real accountability.
Bridget Noring co-founded the group Parents Rise after her teenage son was involved in a drug deal on Snapchat and later died of a fentanyl overdose.
Tech companies know and have known for about a decade that they play a significant role in amplifying the soaring number of drug-related deaths in our country. And instead of addressing the issue, they repeatedly hid behind the protections of Section 230.
Also on hand in Washington to support the bill, actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt, a father of 3.
I want to see this thing pass 100-0. There should be nobody voting to give any more impunity to these tech companies.
Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
St. Louis culture is part of the sights and sounds of the Super Bowl. Famous Budweiser Clydesdales are in San Francisco this week.
They have a special delivery, correct?
We do indeed. We're doing beer deliveries here in the Marina District, and we're here to promote Super Bowl in our ad that just came out, and it's waiting for everyone to see it.
Josie Points with Anheuser-Busch says the Clydesdale schedule tends to be pretty crowded.
So we travel 300 days out of the year, and we'll do 3 to 5 deliveries a week.
She made those comments surrounded by San Franciscans taking cell phone photos of the horses outside a Safeway grocery store.
If you're looking for a Mardi Gras event that's safe for the whole family, this Sunday's Pet Parade is for you. While the season of celebration in Soulard is often known for its wild parties, Dan Kohler with St. Louis-based Nestle Purina Pet Care says the dog parade is a different kind of spectacle that also draws a huge crowd.
This event annually draws upwards of 100,000 people. So a lot of people, I think this is a great hidden gem. It's a family-friendly event.
KMOX host Dave Glover will serve as this year's Grand Marshal, leading the procession of pups through the historic neighborhood.
Coming up at 6:22, St. Louis native John Hamm served as host of the NFL Honors Banquet. It was televised on NBC and the NFL Network last night. We'll bring you a bit of his monologue and witty takes on the football season.
Now it is really time for sports, just days away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training in Jupiter. Full workouts begin a little more than a week. And as we near the start of Cardinals camp, Matt Pauley and Kevin Wheeler discussed the Cardinals' desire for another right-handed bat. On last night's Rush Hour Sports, they talked about the possibilities for the Cardinals and two prominent names that would both be a reunion for the Redbirds. First baseman Paul Goldschmidt, who of course won an MVP with the Cardinals in 2022, or outfielder Randal Grichuk. He made his major league debut with the Cards in 2014, played parts of 4 seasons in St. Louis. Kevin Wheeler, for his part, said he prefers Grichuk.
Because you're getting a little bit more, I mean, obviously you're getting outfield versus first base only. And Grichuk can play anywhere in the outfield. Like, he's probably past the time where he's a good center fielder, but he can play center field. He's capable. You could put him out there and not be terrible. He's still got great arm strength. He still runs a little bit right around league average. He's got good bat speed. He career-wise smashes lefties. And, of course, you got a little connection here. Not to this front office, but it's not the be-all. I'm not sitting here pounding the table for Grichuk, but I do think that's the kind of guy that would be a nice fit, that you get him a 1-year deal, get him a little money, and then he can handle left-handed hit and left-handed pitching, and he can move around the outfield and give you some defensive quality.
Grichuk played with Arizona and Kansas City last year, 113 games. He had just 9 homers and 27 RBIs, hitting .228. But he hit .291 with the Diamondbacks in 2024 with 20 doubles, 12 homers, and 46 RBIs. Goldschmidt played in 146 games for the Yankees last year. He had .274 with 31 doubles, 10 home runs, and 45 RBIs. He had .278 and had 153 homers and 477 RBIs over 6 seasons with the Cardinals from 2019 to 2024. In addition to the MVP, he won a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger with the Cardinals. NFL awards last night, big awards, major awards that is. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford won the MVP. New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel won his second Coach of the Year award. Seahawks receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba took home the Offensive Player of the Year, while Browns defensive end Myles Garrett won the Defensive Player of the Year award. Our next sports update comes up at 6:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
St. Louis has a voice.
This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
The St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup champions.
From moment to memory.
Now there is only one Berlin.
Among those voices, Wendy Weiss.
We'll have more on the troop deployment to Bosnia.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when
when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623.
Now the news. At 9, The Talk. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
6:20. Let's see how busy it is out there on the roads. Roger Brand has more for us from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it's quiet running so far, Megan. Once in a while we have a stall. They just cleared one southbound 270 before Ladue Road. If you're traveling on westbound 44 at Lindbergh, we had one on the shoulder westbound 64 near Boone's Crossing. Again, those are opposite direction of the rush hour flow. The South 270 with Ladue, that is a direction of rush hour travel, but not enough volume out there to slow it down at all, even when they were out there. But it looks like it's not an issue now. And we still look okay in the work zones. 55 down in Festus, north of Bayless, you're good to go. 70 out west from Warrenton on in. That split there coming southbound 61 down to 64 and 70 out of St. Charles County, still cruising along. Just downtown, I see a little bit of a slowdown. Eastbound 64 past Barack Obama Avenue, so there may be something minor on the shoulder there. But Illinois interstates, other than that, are wide open for you as well. Next update at 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Now your weather forecast, mostly sunny today, should be pretty warm, 48 degrees. Overnight, we are getting chilly, though, 23. Then tomorrow only getting to 38. But we're even warmer for the next few days. Sunday, 53. Monday, 63. And Tuesday, we could have a shower, and it'll be 68 degrees in the afternoon. Right now, it's 30 in St. Peters, 34 in Florissant, 36 downtown.
The news continues at 6:22. St. Louis native John Hamm received the honor of hosting this year's NFL Honors Banquet broadcast. Here's a bit of the actor's opening monologue from last night on NBC and the NFL Network.
I know I'm a television guy and you're all sports people and football guys, but I think our worlds actually aren't that different. Both TV shows and quarterbacks usually hit their stride in their second season. Sometimes to get a little boost in the ratings, you got to show a little skin. If you keep going for 21 seasons, you probably lost the plot. And sometimes you need a wedding to save a season. Actually, it turns out that's only in TV, not football. But in all sincerity, congratulations, Travis. I was so happy to hear about you and Taylor. I had no idea you were dating. It's going to be a great show. And I mean that, actually. This isn't like when people said it's going to be a great AFC championship. This is actually true. It's going to be a great show. Our DJ tonight is Atlanta Falcons superstar Bijan Robinson, which makes sense, obviously. Thank you, Bijan. Guys, obviously known for spin moves. What's up? I love your mustard, Bijan.
Love your meme.
What about my TV shows and my movies and stuff?
Yeah, I haven't seen them.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, Bijan. Happy to be here. Happy to be here in the Bay Area, home of so many breathtaking sights. Beautiful, beautiful San Francisco. From the Golden Gate Bridge to Christian McCaffrey's arms. My God, glorious. San Francisco is the home of Christian McCaffrey's team, the 49ers. Team, I assumed, is named after the number of players currently on IR. Good Lord. And I want to address a rumor going around about that. Some people were claiming an electric substation here in San Francisco is responsible for the 49ers injury streak. And I want you to know this is an unfounded, ridiculous rumor. 49ers GM John Lynch is here, and he assures me there's nothing to worry about. Isn't that right, John? Wait a minute. Okay, listen, I'm sure everything's fine. Okay, come on, let's have some fun. We're here to celebrate an amazing football season. It was a huge year for the league. Commissioner Goodell is here. The sport is bigger than ever. The NFL played a record 7 international games this season. 7 different countries. There's really nowhere this game can't thrive. Seriously. There's nowhere this game can't thrive except for the NFC South. I came in second in the NFC South. My God, hi, Baker. Where are you? Hey, buddy. We're honoring the best of the best tonight. So many stars are here. The Puka Nacua is here. Come on, give it up for Puka. What a season. What a season. Derrick Henry is here. King Henry, come on. Myles Garrett is here. Myles. Miles broke the single-season sack record. That record was previously co-owned by Michael Strahan. So you know what that means, Miles. One day you too can spend the rest of your life making sure Terry Bradshaw takes his pills. Jerry Jones is here. You know, my co-star, Jerry Jones. I actually acted in a scene with Jerry on the show Landman. He was phenomenal. Incredible performance. Way more convincing than when he said it was a good idea to trade Micah Parsons. Micah's here also tonight. He consulted on that joke. So thank you, Micah. Well done. Well done, sir. Tonight, we're going to be announcing the MVP, the Man of the Year, and then Sunday, I think we're all in for an incredible game. I'm super excited for Super Bowl 60. Do we have some Pats fans, some Seahawks fans in the house tonight? Let me hear ya. Yes, indeed. Seahawks fans are called the 12s, while Patriots fans are called 5s at best. Sunday, we've got two amazing storylines facing off. Give it up for Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam has come a long way since this happened. Hard to come back from that. And I'm not talking about mono. I'm talking about being drafted by the Jets. And on the other side, and what an amazing job Mike Vrabel has done. He turned a 13-loss team into a 14-win team in one season. I mean, the guy is up for Coach of the Year. And if he wins the Super Bowl on Sunday and then wins 7 more Super Bowls, he still might not make the Hall of Fame. Crazy times we live in.
That is St. Louis native John Hamm last night hosting this year's NFL Honors Banquet broadcast. The time is 6:27, and your time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
This isn't your typical lunchtime baseball chatter. This is the Gas House Gang.
I'll say this. Here's my perspective.
Tom Ackerman, Chris Ronchi, Mike Claiborne, and Bernie Miklasz bring smart, informed Cards talk.
Are we the Gas House Gang? Are we the Gas House people and everybody listening is the gang?
Everybody is the Gas House Gang.
You want real Cardinals conversation? You're in the right place. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of baseball.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
The Humane Society of Missouri's 5th annual Day of Giving is coming up. On February 10th, you'll hear powerful rescue stories of animals fighting to survive and the life-saving work of the Animal Cruelty Task Force. These stories will be shared throughout the day on local TV stations and anytime at hsmo.org/dog. They remind us why your support truly matters. Donations are welcome anytime at hsmo.org/dog. That's hsmo.org/dog.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
6:30 now. We have clear skies, 36 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Scott Jagow. Your weather forecast, mostly sunny, 48 degrees. We'll give some more details on that in a moment. First, let's check on the roads. Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, there's a few more folks getting out on the highway, Scott, but not many. It still looks pretty darn good. Northbound 55, those right lanes approaching the North 270 ramps are a little slow, and there's a little slowdown from about Weber up to Loughborough in the work zone on northbound 55. Same thing on North 270, a little slow right as you approach 64. Again, they've been working. Last night was the first night. Tonight will be the second night of processing a lane shift there. They're going to move all the lanes over to the left, so a little different look. They're sort of halfway through that project right now, so just a little slowdown northbound there. Southbound doesn't look like a big deal. Eastbound 70 still looks great. Southbound 61, eastbound 64 all coming in from the Wentzville area. No problem. 64 both ways around the Interbelt, still smooth sailing, and we're still clear downtown westbound across the Poplar and Mutual Veterans Bridges. Next update at 6:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's going to be a sunny day, breezy too this afternoon, a high of 48 degrees, breezy this evening as well. Clear to partly cloudy, turning colder overnight, a low of 23. And then tomorrow, sun mixing with clouds, a colder day, a high of 38. Right now, 39 in Florissant, 36 in St. Peters, 36 also downtown at the Arch.
For the first time in years, a major private developer is betting big on Wellston. More details from KMOX's Michael Calhoun.
McBride Homes is set to break ground on a $52 million development in the Lulu Heights neighborhood. The project is a collaboration between the City of Wellston, the Port Authority, and local nonprofits like Beyond Housing. County Executive Sam Page praises the deal, saying it will revitalize a community that has seen decades of neglect. Neosha Franklin, CEO of the Community Impact Network, says the goal is to create a neighborhood where the next generation can come back, put down roots, and raise their children. Along with 178 new homes, the project will fund new lighting, curbs, and utilities for the area.
It all started for HOK in downtown St. Louis back in 1955. 71 years later, it's a global architecture, design, and engineering firm with 16 offices and tens of thousands of built projects around the world.
The global firm intends to stay in downtown St. Louis, committing multiple years to the Peabody Building at 7th and Market. Eli Heisington is a senior partner at HOK and says they are super excited to stay downtown and look ahead to the future.
This celebrates our connection to those buildings. You'll walk around, you'll see words on the wall. These are the buildings we've helped build, craft with the city, and really put our footprint here in St. Louis. And this is our founding office. So we're proud of the work we do, proud of St. Louis.
And St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer thanked HOK for stepping up and committing to the city.
It shows leadership and partnership, and we are excited for the next chapter of HOK and the next chapter of the city of St. Louis.
Maria Kina, KMOX News.
It's the end of an era for local sports collectors. 1 million baseball cards. They're on Manchester and West County, and they are shutting down as owner Wally Militzer heads into retirement. While the shop became a staple for hobbyists, Militzer tells The Card Life that his success was partly due to a clever marketing trick he used in the old phone book.
Man, I got to tell you, people would actually walk in and go, hey, we're in for the Cardinal game. Man, I saw your ad in the Yellow Pages. If you only have time to see one store in town, make sure it's yours. So that's why we're here.
He says that simple tagline helped him build a loyal customer base that lasted more than 3 decades.
Still ahead on Total Information AM, we're going to get your money report, and then we're going to get an update, get the latest on the Nancy Guthrie case. The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. It's 6:34.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply or apply. Stop, opt out.
This is an important message for all parents of teens. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to social media sites such
such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, and they have suffered from eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower show Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms were highly addictive and may have caused eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation. It appears these social media companies knew they had been causing serious harm to kids, but have done little to stop it. If your teen has been harmed by social media like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, then you could be eligible for significant compensation. If you'd like to discuss a lawsuit, text LEVEL to 323232, LEVEL to 323232, LEVEL to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson, Media Advertising Specialists, LLC, is responsible for the content of this ad with principal offices in Chicago, Illinois.
At 6:35, your business report is sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. With the spring selling season right around the corner, mortgage rates have risen for a third week, adding slightly to housing costs. According to Freddie Mac, the average for a 30-year fixed-rate loan is 6.11%. The real estate market has remained sluggish, even as rates dropped from nearly 7% a year ago. But the real test will come over the next couple of months as the market's busiest season begins. Checking on your money, the S&P 500 is on track for its worst week so far this year. However, stock futures are recovering this morning with Wall Street looking at a higher open. And every Olympic year, curling gets its moment in the spotlight. It became an official Olympic sport in 1998 and has grown more popular in the U.S. ever since. As the Milan Cortina Games kick off, curling clubs are taking advantage of the attention to attract new members. There are around 170 clubs across the country, and they're rolling out events such as Learn to Curl sessions and Olympic watch parties. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting EasyCater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
EasyCater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about EasyCater or start an order at easycater.com.
Looking for your dream home in Wentzville? Welcome to Sutton Farms by Lombardo Homes, where community and comfort come together. Enjoy resort-style living with a private clubhouse, indoor courts, a splash pad, sand volleyball, walking trails, and even a dog park. Design your own custom home in our Parkside, Nature, or Tradition series, all within the top-rated Wentzville School District. Discover the perfect blend of small-town charm and modern convenience at Sutton Farms, located off Piney Road in Wentzville. Visit LombardoHomes.com to learn more.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
It's 6:38, traffic and weather just ahead. First, though, the latest on the search for the mother of TV host Savannah Guthrie.
Authorities in Arizona are looking for leads in the search for the 84-year-old mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie.
We believe Nancy is still out there. We want her home.
Sheriff Chris Nano says DNA tests showed blood found on Nancy Guthrie's porch came back as a match to her. Authorities think she may have been taken from her home in Tucson against her will over the weekend. As for who may have done this,
at this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case.
The FBI's Heath Janke says there is a ransom note, but it was not sent to the Guthrie family.
A letter that was sent to the local media and then to national outlets.
He says the note included a demand for money and a deadline.
This is an 84-year-old grandma that needs vital medication for her well-being. You still have the time to do the right thing before this becomes a much worse scenario for you.
Janke says any ransom decisions are up to the Guthrie family. I'm Ed Donahue.
American farmers are being hit hard by the end of extra Obamacare subsidies. I'm Katherine Houghton, and this is your KFF Health News Minute. James Davis grows cotton, corn, and soybeans in Louisiana.
Just been farming pretty much all my life.
Davis says his insurance cost has quadrupled. Agricultural workers are more likely to buy coverage on an ACA exchange than the average American. Hospitals are starting their own Medicare Advantage plans as an alternative to the Medicare plans offered by private companies. Private insurers often drop doctors and hospitals from their Medicare Advantage networks, leaving patients stuck in the middle. So providers like the UCLA and West Virginia University health systems are saying, if you can't beat them, join them. Hospital-owned plans could offer stability for seniors who have seen insurers cut off access to their providers. There's more at kffhealthnews.org.
It is 6:40. Roger Brands in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we have a nice morning out there on a Friday morning so far, Scott. If you're headed out the door now onto the area highways, nothing to be concerned about, really. Just a little volume. So starting to see a few slowdowns, but it's really not that big of a deal. Northbound 55 is a little bit busy north of Bayless up to River to Pear, and Loughborough up through Virginia is a little heavy. North 270 crowded past Doherty Ferry. Then there's a slowdown from just north of Manchester, most of the way up to Ladue. Of course, they did a lane shift last night, or started a lane shift process last night. North 270 between 64 and Ladue, and they'll continue it tonight from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m., so just be prepared for that. But right now, of course, the roadwork's wrapped up. It is a little busy there. Southbound, just a bit of a slowdown through Ladue. Doesn't look that bad. Eastbound 70 and eastbound 64 coming in from out west, you're clear. Downtown, we're still good to go westbound across the Poplar and Musial Veterans Bridges. I still don't see any delays. I had a report earlier that there was a crash on northbound 57 just right around Salem near Highway 50, and that they had the interstate shut down there. I don't see any delays on northbound 57 at all, and every time I've checked it, it looks okay, so maybe they're getting a handle on it there. Next update at 6:50 from the Overhead Door Company at St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sponsored by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The big game is here, and now you can trade on football legally nationwide on Kalshi. Right now, New England is trading at 32% to beat Seattle. A $100 trade pays out $289. Use code FAN to get $20 when you trade 100. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Well, the snow that's still left is going to be gone pretty soon if you check out this forecast. Joe Lundberg, looks like we're going to dip into some spring-like weather.
We are indeed, Megan, and the snow does not stand a chance. After the weekend, here comes the warmer air for at least a few days. Sunday starting it out with a high in the low 50s, but it gets even better than that Monday and Tuesday. Ahead of it, we'll have sunshine today. A front will be coming through later this morning. The breeze will pick up, and we'll get to the upper 40s, but then it gets colder tonight, down to 23 with clear to partly cloudy skies. The breezes die off later tonight. Tomorrow, sunshine will mix with clouds. Certainly a colder start to the weekend with a high of 38. But then it's the call to the mild starting on Sunday. With clouds and some sun, we get to 53. How about 61 to 65 on Monday with sunshine and enough sun to get to temperatures into the mid and upper 60s Tuesday, although I could see how we get a shower in the afternoon. Right now, it's 40 at St. Peter's, 39 at Florissant, mainly clear, 40 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm Joe Pott. We're continuing the Cardinals talk. We hear from Brad Thompson coming up in sports.
It is 6:42. There's a push to enact tougher penalties in Illinois for domestic violence cases.
The current law is not addressing this crisis situation.
Several Republican lawmakers in Springfield, including Senator Darby Hills, are behind proposals that would see violations of orders of protection elevated to felonies.
These stronger penalties are not just about punishment. They help prevent immediate retaliation, and they give victims critical time to get services, to provide a safety plan, and to get out of dangerous situations.
They say the goal is to amend, not contradict, the Safety Act. Dakota Sebring is a survivor of domestic violence.
This is about prevention, accountability, and finally giving victims the protection and safety that our laws are supposed to guarantee.
Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since a brutal winter storm swept across 2/3 of the country, but some areas are still without power. That includes in Nashville, Tennessee, where thousands of people have waited days for the lights to come back on. The local utility company now under intense scrutiny from lawmakers. CBS News correspondent Nicole Valdez is in Nashville with more on the power situation and how the mayor is responding.
It has taken them, in some cases,
12 days to restore power to people. And we are talking about the last 2 weeks where we have seen significant days of below freezing temperatures. So the temperature inside a lot of these homes is extremely uncomfortable. In some cases, it's impossible for these families to stay inside.
For the first time in over 50 years, the U.S. and Russia do not have an agreement to limit their long-range missile nuclear arsenals. The most recent deal that was signed 15 years ago has expired. Face the Nation host Margaret Brennan.
Arms control expert Daryl Kimball.
That uncertainty can be extremely dangerous when and if there is a crisis that could lead to the employment of nuclear weapons.
China boasts the fastest growing arsenal, planning to reach 1,000 nuclear warheads in the next 4 years. President Xi Jinping has shown little interest in President Trump's past attempts to broker a three-way arms control deal with Vladimir Putin.
A new report says the average American worker has just $955 saved for retirement.
The nonprofit National Institute on Retirement Security says 56 million American workers do not have employee-sponsored retirement plans. For those who do, the median balance is $40,000. Workers ages 55 to 64 have only accumulated 19% of their targeted retirement savings. The report also warns of possible cuts to Social Security benefits next decade if Congress doesn't act. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Well, we keep the Cardinals talk going, this time from last night's Countdown to Opening Day show on KMOX and the Cardinals Radio Network. Cards TV analyst Brad Thompson joined the show last night. Thompson, of course, a former Cardinal himself, was asked about what it's like for a player at the start of spring training.
It's kind of what your role is, right? When you're going into spring training, how much of a footprint do you have at the big league level? And that's what's going to be so interesting about this season for the Cardinals. Look, there's not any huge footprints really when it comes to having a defined big league career. So for a lot of these guys right now, trying to put myself in their shoes, I bet there's a ton of excitement because of all the opportunity that is there, and probably some nerves, right? Like there's an exciting time to get some jobs, to win some jobs, and essentially to lose a job at some point if you don't perform at the level you want to perform. But if you are a young player, this is the right place to be right now, and the Cardinals have a lot of those guys.
Thompson also was asked about the Cardinals and how the staff evaluates players and how that varies depending on the player.
A lot of times, like there might be players that Ollie and Heim in the front office might want to give more time to, but you could see that they're mentally defeated. Like there are times where that happens, where you just kind of got to give a guy a break. And I know that a break sounds terrible when you're talking about sending a guy to AAA as a break, but there are times where you have to do that. So I feel like that is really a case by case, because right now, look, we all know where the Cardinals nationally are expected, and surely internally the expectations are going to be a lot different. They believe that they're going to compete and hopefully have a chance to win a division. But right now, this is a season for young guys to be able to prove what they have. So on an individual basis, you try to run these guys out there, get them reps, but you also have to listen to what they're saying, what they're doing, and then what the guys behind them are doing. So I really do believe that this is a case-by-case thing. I think that Ollie and his staff do as good of a job as any other staff in baseball of coaching at this level and communicating at this level.
That entire conversation with Brad Thompson is available at the Cardinals Conversations tab at KMOX.com. 19th ranked St. Louis University back at home tomorrow afternoon at Chaifetz Arena. It's the Billikens and LaSalle. It's a 2:00 tip. The Billikens are 22-1 overall, 10-0 in the Atlantic 10. Tickets sold out for tomorrow's game, but as always, you can hear it right here on KMOX with Bob Ramsey and Earl Austin Jr., beginning with the pregame show at 1:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX. It's the final football Friday, and as we've said all week, it's last call for football at FanDuel, and they're giving you a daily profit boost every day leading up to the big game. So today's 30% profit boost is for the first quarter market, so alt passing, receiving, rushing yards. As examples, will the Patriots try to establish the run early and get Stevenson over his first quarter rushing total? Will the Seattle Seahawks feed JSN to get him going? All you have to do is make a choice. You opt in each day and place an eligible bet to use that day's profit boost. So whether you're locking in early lines, riding your favorite props, or taking one last swing before the final whistle, FanDuel's giving everyone something extra to cheer for during football's final week. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. And remember, you must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
The Humane Society of Missouri's Day of Giving is just around the corner. On this day, your favorite local TV station will highlight incredible rescue stories of animals fighting to survive, stories of courage, resilience, and hope. Visit the Humane Society website to watch these powerful stories and see the life-saving work made possible by compassionate donors like you. These stories underscore why it's so vital to support the HSMO. Go to KMOX.com/events today for more information.
Now the news at 1 the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
At 6:50, another update on this morning's commute from Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, again, things are doing okay on a Friday morning. A little more volume, but it's still not bad for pretty much everybody. This traffic reports a service of Financial and Tax Strategies. If you're coming up northbound 55, you got slow traffic, Bayless up to River to Pear. After that, it sorts itself out. North 270, north of Doherty Ferry, a little slow, and pretty much Manchester all the way up to 64, entering that construction zone. Again, they shifted lanes or started to shift the lanes northbound last night. They'll wrap up the project tonight during the overnight hours between 8 and 5. South 270 at 64, just a little bit busy there. Out to the west of us, southbound 61, just a little slow. South of Winslow Parkway, crossing over onto eastbound 64, eastbound 70, approaching Bryan Road into Highway K is slow. They're doing road work, but I don't see any delays right now. Westbound 370, just past our city. Traffic looks to be in good shape for you there. And it looks like we have the only incident going on is a stall or a crash. It's a westbound 64 just past Boyle. Traffic is jammed at about Grand, so it's the only backup. The Illinois drivers coming up to that point on westbound 64 across the Poplar still look great. Next update is 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Retirement shouldn't feel like balancing a checkbook while blindfolded. I'm Gary Goldberg, and my team helps you see the big picture so you can retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Because guessing is not a strategy. Tune in to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
Going to be a nice day today, mostly sunny, breezy with a high of 48, but cold again tonight, an overnight low of 23 with partly cloudy skies. Sunshine again tomorrow, mixing with clouds, but colder, a high of 38. But by Sunday, we'll have a mix of clouds and sun, and we'll have a warmer afternoon. Expect a high around 53. Right now, clear skies, 36 degrees downtown at the Arch.
The news continues at 6:52. Billionaire David Hoffman says he wants the Post-Dispatch to become a competitive weapon for the region's economy. He officially became chairman of the newspaper's parent company, Lee Enterprises, yesterday. He told a Business Journal event, the paper needs to do a better job promoting the community rather than tearing it down, as he put it, also criticizing the current editorial stance as too left. Hoffman says he plans to add staff rather than cut it.
St. Louis County Executive Sam Page gives us an update on the program Save Lives Now. It's a regional crime prevention initiative meant to lower homicides by 20% in 3 years.
And all this is done with experts in focused deterrence, experts in cognitive behavioral therapy, and working closely with our police department in St. Louis County to identify the most violent individuals, the individual most likely to be involved in a shooting, and have a very, very clear conversation with them about the choices they're making.
Page says so far they've had 13 interactions with individuals. 10 have taken the help offered. He says a similar program in Baltimore resulted in a 60% reduction in homicides.
Your old job may have some old money attached to it. Rob Hart has more from our sister station, WBBM in Chicago.
There's nothing like putting on an old coat and finding $20 in the pocket. You could be in for the same experience when it comes to unclaimed funds from the retirement account from a long ago job. Ed Jertson of the Engage Wealth Group.
I had a match. I wasn't aware of that. So again, pensions and other things could reside in that database as well.
The federal government has a new tool to help you find old retirement accounts.
The Retirement Savings Lost and Found database. That's a mouthful. So it's lostandfound.dol.gov.
You can also check the Illinois Unclaimed Property Registry at icash.illinoistreasurer.gov.
Today's the official start of the Winter Olympics in Milan, Italy, and for the first time in 24 years, they'll be adding a few new events. Possibly the weirdest one has to be Ski-Mo, or ski mountaineering, which combines skiing uphill, some climbing, and then downhill racing through a course.
Why don't they just add target shooting while you're going downhill? There's also the first women's large hill ski jumping and a side-by-side moguls freestyle race where they're judged on hang time while also trying to beat the other guy to the finish line.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement. It's your birthday.
Your KMOX birthday shout out is sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned, top rated, RennerDoorSTL.com. On this February 6th, Axl Rose turned 64. Rick Astley, never going to give you up, 60 years old. Mamie Van Doren is 95, and Tom Brokaw is 86 years old.
Local celebrity birthdays for today. Happy birthday to Bev Alfritz. Birthday wishes over the weekend to Kevin McAllister, Trish Miller, and Pamela Craybaum. Also birthday wishes going out to Reverend Mary Tillman today. And happy birthday to Ryan Weber from the Spring family.
This is the best birthday ever.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
At Graybar, we know your time is money. That's why our services go beyond parts and products. With kitting, pre-assembly, wire carts, and Graybar smart reels that keep you moving. We stage materials and manage logistics so you can spend less time sorting and more time installing. And with locations nationwide, we deliver when and where you need it, working to make your job easier every step of the way. Yep, Graybar does that.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
It's men's Billikens basketball action Saturday afternoon as they take to the court against LaSalle. Pre-game 1:45, tip at 2 on your home for Billikens basketball. KMOX.
A couple minutes before 7 o'clock, Roger Brand with an update on the roads from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, I can see the problem now, Scott, and it's definitely a crash. It's a spin out. It's in the center lane, westbound 64. Looks like it's just before you get to Boyle. I couldn't see it before when I was mentioning we had a problem there. I just was trying to look around, but I just couldn't see it. But they got the camera trained on it now. So center lane blocked, westbound 64 right near Boyle. So traffic is jammed back through Grand on westbound 64. So just be prepared. It's not impacting eastbound 64. That's sort of where the lanes dive down on the eastbound side. So eastbound 64 looks great coming in from Wentzville right now. Eastbound Highway 70, Lake St. Louis through Bryan Road. There's some slower traffic there, but after that, it sorts itself out. If you're on northbound 270, there's just some slow traffic. Manchester up to about Clayton Road, then it sort of sorts itself out after that. If you're running northbound 55, the delays for the time being have thinned out, coming up through Bayless up to a River to Pear and downtown. Like I said, westbound 64 on the Missouri side, you have those jam approaching Boyle because of the crash. But on the Illinois side, everything's still clear. Next update is 710 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We have clear skies, 36 degrees downtown at the Arch. This is Friday, February 6th. You're listening to Total Information AM. I'm Megan Lynch. Here are the stories making news.
The billionaire new owner of the Post-Dispatch says he'd like to buy the St. Louis Cardinals.
Interesting time to come in.
I'm Michael Calhoun with the latest.
I'm Scott Jagow.
I'm Maria Keenan with what the business community is saying about a global company committing to downtown St. Louis.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Sunshine for the most part today and becoming breezy for the afternoon, high 48.
I'm Joe Pott. The St. Louis University Billikens have won 16 straight games. They're back on the floor tomorrow afternoon. I'll tell you about that and more coming up in sports.
In CBS News, a deep freeze headed to the East Coast this weekend.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin in Arizona, where the search for the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie has now entered day number 6. Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is in Tucson.
Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly.
Cameron Guthrie, the brother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, made a second appeal on behalf of the family for the return of his mother, who authorities believe was abducted from her Tucson home early Sunday morning.
We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward.
The family released the video Thursday at 5 p.m., meeting the first of 2 deadlines detailed in an apparent ransom note, according to the FBI.
The FBI now offering a $50,000 reward for information that leads to Nancy Guthrie or an arrest. The last couple of weeks cold in the eastern portion of the U.S., just a warm-up. Dangerous below zero wind chills will settle in this weekend. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
There are alerts for the cold for almost 100 million people across the Northeast, from Ohio right on across into Maine. It goes down the eastern seaboard into D.C., Virginia, as well as North Carolina.
Wind gusts could top 50 miles an hour. To Los Angeles, where 3 people were killed when a car slammed into a grocery store. Firefighters say the victims were pinned under the Prius that wound up a few feet inside a 99 Ranch Market in Westwood. 6 others in the store were hurt. Police say the 70-year-old driver is cooperating. Amy Fleshert lives nearby.
I've almost been hit, as a pedestrian, in this crosswalk at this intersection a million times. I mean, it just has to stop. The speeding, the running red lights.
Investigators say the driver also hit a bike rider before the crash. How much money do you have stashed away for retirement?
The nonprofit National Institute on Retirement Security says 56 million American workers do not have employee-sponsored retirement plans. For those who do, the median balance is $40,000. Workers ages 55 to 64 have only accumulated 19% of their targeted retirement savings. The report also warns of possible cuts to Social Security benefits next decade if Congress doesn't act. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
LA Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford's edged out New England's Drake May to win the NFL's Most Valuable Player award.
My name's going to be on this trophy, but there's so many guys. A lot of you here today, and I appreciate the heck out of you for being here. Your name should be on there too.
This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At 7:04, we have mostly clear skies. It's 39 degrees downtown at the Gateway Arch. Today is Friday, February 6th. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow.
And I'm Megan Lynch. A local billionaire says he'll take a swing at buying the St. Louis Cardinals.
David Hoffman, who's from Washington, Missouri, told a crowd at a Business Journal event that he intends to buy a baseball team and he would like it to be the Redbirds. Hoffman is currently in the process of buying a controlling stake in the NHL's Pittsburgh Penguins. He says his plan is to pay off the Penguins' debt in the next 12 to 24 months and then pivot to baseball. Director of the Sports Business Program at Washington University, Patrick Risch.
You would think that baseball, normally you would say baseball is a better business to be in. That being said, all of baseball is dealing with losses in local regional money right now, with the exception of the major markets in New York and Los Angeles.
Risch tells KMOX that the television situation would likely impact the sale price of the Cardinals.
I do think that it's going to be somewhere in that $2 to $2.5 billion range.
Hoffman admits that he has not spoken with the DeWitt family, but says, "We'd talk." KMOX has talked with them. Bill DeWitt III sent us a statement which says, quote, "Our family remains committed to St. Louis and the Cardinals. We have no plans to sell the team." Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Would-be burglars smashed a large glass window at a Pacific, Missouri car dealership last night, but the manager there says they didn't get anything.
Our partners at Fox 2 report the attempted smash and grab happened at Tyler Ternary Jeep Dodge Ram. The manager says it was the third time in recent weeks they'd been targeted. Keys and cars were stolen the previous times.
HOK, a global top-tier architecture, engineering, and urban planning firm, cut the ribbon yesterday on their new space. It's in the Peabody building at Market and 7th.
Senior partner Eli Hoisington says HOK took shape in downtown in 1955.
So we're super excited to continue our time down here and look ahead to the future. For me personally, it's really meaningful to look ahead for us as well, because I'm coming on 20 years at HOK. And so my future has been defined with this firm and here downtown. This new space really reflects the values of HOK. It's about collaboration. It's about working with the city. It's about working with all of you and really making incredible buildings and incredible places here in downtown St. Louis and across the world, actually.
Maria Kina, KMOX News.
Large data centers could be banned permanently in St. Charles. The city says it's considering the ban because of concerns about water use, electricity use, and noise. Under the city's proposal, smaller data centers would still be allowed. A public meeting about the issue set for Monday night at City Hall.
As excitement builds for the Super Bowl on Sunday, Illinois officials are warning bettors to be careful where they place their wagers. We get more from WBBM's Glenn Marshall in Chicago.
With Super Bowl betting expected to surge, the Illinois Gaming Board and Attorney General's office have sent more than 60 cease and desist letters to online casino and sweepstakes operators accused of illegally targeting Illinois residents. State law prohibits internet gambling outside of licensed sports books, casinos, racetracks, and approved video gaming operators. The letters demand the sites immediately block access to users in Illinois or stop offering the prizes. Failure to comply could result in civil or criminal penalties. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Still ahead on Total Information AM, one Illinois county could soon approve driverless cars. We'll tell you more on that. Plus, we'll tell you what's actually happening on the roads right now with Roger Brand and get the latest on the forecast. That's in 2 minutes. It's 8:08.
It seems like this weather is going to continue. The cold weather is going to continue here in St. Louis and Illinois for the foreseeable future to finish out the winter. Now, if you have been unlucky or you don't want to wait till you're unlucky and you need your furnace fixed or even replaced, call me. We can get you a furnace next day. Sometimes we, depending on the manufacturer, it's not us, but just depending on the manufacturer, if they have the parts available, and here in St. Louis or Illinois, we can get you that day. But either way, if you're having problems with the furnace or you want to prevent problems with the furnace, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number, the easiest number in Missouri and Illinois, just one number. That number is 314-293-2600. Again, 314-293-2600, or on the internet, it's Bart Inman. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-990-1551. That's 800-990-1551.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
An update on the commute now at 7:10 from Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, there's still no change, but there are only trouble spots, Scott. This crash westbound 64 before Boyle, a car, I guess it hit the guardrail or whatever and spun into the center lane, debris all around it, and the center lane blocked. I can see, I guess it's a tow truck coming through the area right now. There's the first vehicle to arrive. They're flashing lights moving through. But westbound 64 is a solid jam back through to Grand right now because of it. Now, eastbound 64, nobody's looking at it. You can see it on the way by, but not enough volume to cause a problem. In fact, eastbound 64 looks great from out Wentzville way coming in. So does eastbound 70 from the split in Wentzville. Both highways running across the Missouri River bridges all the way into downtown. There are no issues there at all so far, so that's great to see. Now, northbound 270, just a slowdown north of Manchester, most of the way up to 64. Again, they had some lane shift work that began last night. So they've gotten halfway through that project. They'll do the rest of it tonight, so they'll look maybe a little different through there. But, again, just normal volume at that point. Northbound 55 looking good, coming in from Festus up through Bayless in the construction zone there. I'm not seeing any issues. In downtown westbound, Illinois drivers coming across the Poplar and Mutual Veterans Bridges. Things are still good to go for you there as well. Next update at 7:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, mostly sunny today and becoming breezy for the afternoon, high 48. It'll be breezy early tonight, clear to partly cloudy and colder overnight, low 23. Sun mixing with clouds tomorrow, a colder day, high 38. For Sunday, intervals of clouds and sun and becoming milder in the afternoon, high 53. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
39 degrees in Florissant, 36 in St. Peters, 36 downtown at the Arch.
I'm Joe Pott. I'll tell you where some of the Cardinals are playing during the upcoming World Baseball Classic. That's coming.
It is 7:12 this afternoon at St. Patrick's Cathedral in Midtown Manhattan. The new Archbishop of New York is installed, officially replacing St. Louis native Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who hit the church's mandatory retirement age of 75 for bishops.
Cardinal Dolan is assuring the faithful he will always be a priest and looks forward to doing the fun things like baptisms and weddings. During an interview on Fox News, the Cardinal talked about his concern for Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie as her mom remains missing.
I called yesterday. I didn't get through, but I left a message saying, Savannah, I'm asking the Good Shepherd to find this lost sheep. She's a great woman. We go way back. She was with me the first time when I was made a cardinal in 2012. So I love her.
So what would he say to those who may have abducted Savannah's mom?
I'd say, look, she doesn't belong to you. She belongs to her family. She belongs to the Lord. Let her go. You've made your point. How can I help you do that?
Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
People in Cook County, Illinois would be the first to hail self-driving cabs under a proposal now being considered by state lawmakers in Springfield. It's sponsored by Chicago State House Democrat Cam Buckner, who says his proposal would spell out a 3-year pilot program designed to determine whether Waymo and other driverless cars are safe for Illinois.
We can have a certain number of these cars on the road where we can study what happens to them, make sure that they're safe, make sure that the labor standards are up to par, and that all the things that people are concerned about are fleshed out in the process.
It's the latest in a series of proposals designed to legalize autonomous vehicles. So far, none of them have been able to gain traction at the Illinois State Capitol.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Music fans mourning the death of 6-time Grammy-winning singer Lamont McLemore of the Fifth Dimension. The 90-year-old St. Louis native died Tuesday in Las Vegas. He learned photography in the Navy, and that vocation ultimately led him to find 2 female vocalists to go with 2 male friends from St. Louis to form the legendary band, The Fifth Dimension. That group has had a star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame since 2010.
The Beg and Pet Parade returns to Soulard this Sunday, and this year a familiar voice will be leading the way. KMOX host Dave Glover has been tapped as the 2026 Grand Marshal. Purina's Dan Kohler welcomed him to the role.
Dave, you are gracious enough to serve as our illustrious Grand Marshal this year. We are so excited to have you participate. You'll be riding on our lead float, helping toss out swag to all the spectators throughout the Soulard neighborhood.
Glover will preside over thousands of costume dogs and their owners. Proceeds benefit the Open Door Animal Sanctuary.
A new study says used electric vehicles can save you money. This is Jeff Gilbert with the Car Chronicles. University of Michigan researcher Greg Keolian looking at the advertised prices of vehicles, new and used, gasoline and electric, as well as what it costs to operate them.
If you're looking at a 7-year ownership period, buying a used, say, 3-year-old midsize SUV versus a new midsize SUV had a savings of approximately $13,000 for a battery electric vehicle.
A 3-year-old EV may have the same technology as a new one, but at a much lower price.
There's a higher upfront cost in general for new EVs, but in the case of used EVs, there has been a higher depreciation.
This is even more significant now that the government is no longer offering incentives to buy an electric vehicle. With the Car Chronicles, I'm Jeff Gilbert, CBS News.
And as we near the start of Cardinals spring training camp, Matt Pauley and Kevin Wheeler discussed the Cardinals' desire for another right-handed bat. On last night's Rush Hour Sports, they talked about possibilities for the Cards and 2 prominent names that would both represent a reunion for the Redbirds. First baseman Paul Goldschmidt, who of course won an MVP with the Cards in 2022, or outfielder Randall Grichuk. He made his major league debut with the Cardinals in 2014 and played parts of 4 seasons in St. Louis. Kevin Wheeler said he prefers the latter.
Because you're getting a little bit more, I mean, obviously you're getting outfield versus first base only. And Grichuk can play anywhere in the outfield. Like, he's probably past the time where he's a good center fielder, but he can play center field. He's capable. You could put him out there and not be terrible. He's still got great arm strength. He still runs a little bit right around league average. He's got good bat speed. He career-wise smashes lefties. And of course, you got a little connection here. Not to this front office, but it's not the be-all. I'm not sitting here pounding the table for Grichuk, but I do think that's the kind of guy that would be a nice fit. That you get him a 1-year deal, get him a little money, and then he can handle left-handed hitting, left-handed pitching, and he can move around the outfield and give you some defensive quality.
Grichuk played with Arizona and Kansas City last year. In 113 games, he had just 9 home runs and 27 RBIs while hitting .228. He hit .291 with the Diamondbacks in 2024, 20 doubles, 12 homers, and 46 RBIs. Goldschmidt played in 146 games for the Yankees last year, and he hit .274 with 31 doubles, 10 homers, and 45 RBIs. He hit .278 with 153 homers and 477 RBIs over 6 years with the Cardinals from 2019 through 2024, winning, of course, the MVP in 2022, but he also won a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger Award with the Cardinals. Major League Baseball announced last night the rosters for the World Baseball Classic, and that included all of the teams, players that and where they will play. For the Cardinals, a couple of notables. Leo Bernal will play for Panama. Gordon Graceffo will play for Italy. Ivan Herrera will play for Panama as well. Matt Koperniak, minor leaguer, will be playing for Great Britain. Riley O'Brien will play for Korea, and Thomas Sajaci will play for Italy. Next sports update comes up at 7:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
100 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors. A century of trust in St. Louis. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for same-day repair service and no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Trust your friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
February 10th is the Humane Society of Missouri's annual Day of Giving, bringing attention to animal abuse and neglect and the heartbreaking conditions many animals endure before help arrives. Through powerful rescue stories, you'll see the reality of neglect, suffering, and abuse, and how compassion and support will help give animals a second chance. Watch these true rescue stories today and donate at hsmo.org/dog. That's hsmo.org/dog.
Total Information AM. The news continues on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Good Friday morning at 7:20. An update on the roads. Roger Brandon, the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, once MoDOT showed up, they were able to quickly clear the crash. At least it's over to the shoulder. It's actually in the safety V there between the exit to Boyle and the through lanes of westbound 64. So lanes are open. Looks like they picked up the debris as well. We still have a jam, though, back at Grand on westbound 64. But again, at least all lanes are open there now. Eastbound 64, still not bad. It's a Friday morning. It's a little slow coming off 70 to about Prospect, and not even really Prospect. It opens up. There's a brief slowdown at Clarkson and a brief slowdown at 170. Northbound 270, let's call it north of Doherty Ferry, most of the way up to 64, just slow going, running that route right now. Southbound 270 still clear down to Ladue. Eastbound 70 out of St. Charles County still looking good. Northbound 55, you just got that slow traffic. Bayless up to River de Pere, then you sort yourself out in downtown. We're still clear westbound 64, at least on the Illinois side. Again, if you're continuing on 64 across into Missouri, we'll run in the backup Grand through Boyle, but all lanes are open. Next update is 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Starting to see the sun come up on the downtown buildings, and it's going to be a mostly sunny day today. Breezy this afternoon with a high of 48 degrees. Breezy this evening, partly cloudy and colder overnight, though, with an overnight low of 23. And then tomorrow, sun mixing with clouds, colder, a high of 38. We have sunny skies, 38 degrees downtown at the Arch.
The news continues at 7:22. The city of St. Louis had already agreed to help deconstruct a makeshift plywood warming shelter before it caught fire yesterday.
The structure was at 10th and Cass, and while it wasn't destroyed, St. Louis Fire Captain Garen Mosby says it appears the fire was intentionally set.
That the building division is there now. A representative from the fire marshal's staff is there. It may be a need to involve law enforcement at some point. Based on some of the things that were heard by some of our members.
Mayor Kara Spencer told KMOX she spoke with the Good Samaritan known as Prop Man Thursday morning before the fire.
The industrious young man who has been working with many members of our city's youth to construct tiny homes. They built a shelter there. We had concerns going back about a month now. The fire department brought it to our attention when it was first constructed, the real danger associated with having those propane heaters in there. Prop Man yesterday announced that he did want the city to help him take it down. There was unfortunately some illegal things going on there, some really concerning things happening within the structure. So the city is going to be a partner with that.
Captain Mosby told KMOX yesterday's fire had nothing to do with the propane heaters that had been used on site.
It's a long-time partnership, a certain St. Louis company, part of the Super Bowl happening this weekend in the San Francisco area. The Budweiser Clydesdales are already there making special deliveries. CBS's Juliet Goodrich was with them outside a grocery store in the Marina neighborhood.
Talk about the sights and sounds of Super Bowl. These are the Clydesdales, and you know it's the rite of passage to Super Bowl when you see them stomping around our Bay Area. Josie Points is with Anheuser-Busch. Josie, while we look at these beautiful creatures, we have Diesel, and who do we have here?
Major.
Major. Let's talk about what they're doing today, and they have a special delivery, correct?
We do indeed. We're doing beer deliveries here in the Marina District, and we're here to promote Super Bowl in our ad that just came out, and it's waiting for everyone to see it.
You know, it is so beautiful to see them coming through our Bay Area. Normally they're going through snow, so this is quite a treat for our creatures here, correct?
They definitely enjoy it. It's nice, cool weather. They love it.
Let me set the stage here. So we've got the Dalmatian at the very end with the wagon of all of the I would say, carbonated beverages that they'll be sending. And Clydesdales, how many stops will they be making today?
I'm not sure of that, just as many bars as we see.
I know there's some taverns they're stopping by. And how do you think they feel about this? They're pretty friendly, aren't they? Normally I'm riding a horse, not next to these big guys. Hello.
Yeah, they are pretty big. This guy's actually our youngest one. He's only 4.
And how often do they do this kind of, I would say, delivery?
So we travel 300 days out of the year, and we'll do 3 to 5 deliveries a week.
All right, Josie, thanks so much. Let's come on down here. Let's walk and talk with some of our folks here. Hey there, big guy. How are you doing? All right, let me just chat. What is this like for you as you're watching these Clydesdales here?
Amazing.
It's kind of like the beginning of Super Bowl, wouldn't you say?
Of course. Horses, these are grand horses, and the Super Bowl is grand as well.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. We always look forward to the Super Bowl commercials, and you can bet you're going to see them in one of them because they've been busy doing commercials, and now they're just kind of meeting and greeting everybody. I have a horse, and I have to say that hoof is about 5 times larger than my Palominos at home. And I'm sure there's a lot of training. And actually, I'm getting kind of the go-ahead. You want to head to the next tavern. Is that right?
Oh
my
okay.
gosh. We are holding up the Budweiser
I don't want to hold them
delivery
up.
service.
The real one headlining the Super Bowl halftime show, but a top Bad Bunny look-alike was crowned at a raucous event in San Francisco's Mission District. KCBS's Megan Goldsby has reaction from the winner.
Seeing Abdul walk down Valencia Street into Tacolicious, the phones were out. People were calling him Benito. It absolutely looked like the real deal. That's when I could get close enough to talk to him before this professional Bad Bunny impersonator won the contest and was even more mobbed with requests for pictures.
If I win or not, for me, I win because I know now more people, new people.
Josie Dominguez Chand, who lives in San Francisco, was dressed as Bad Bunny from his cover of Harper's Bazaar. I asked what she was expecting for halftime.
Bad Bunny doesn't have to say anything political because his presence is powerful, and that's enough in itself. All he has to do is spread joy and love, and that helps all of us as Latinas, Latinos, Latine, Latinx to feel that we are powerful.
In the Mission, Megan Goldsby, KCBS.
The time is 7:26, and your time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. You know, there are real things to talk about. I am amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I got you something extra special for Valentine's Day.
Yeah?
How does a blow and go sound?
I like it.
Great. Air Comfort Service will be here on Monday.
Wait, what?
Our attic insulation is in bad shape. Air Comfort Service heating and cooling and insulation can top off our insulation with blow and go and make our home more energy efficient. We can save up to 30% on our energy bills.
I love it when you talk savings to me.
Schedule your blow and go attic installation from Air Comfort Service. Visit aircomfortservice.com/blow today.
Hey guys, Glover here from my good friends at Ophthalmology Associates. So my doctor is Dr. Greg Birdie, and he's my doctor and he is my friend. He is a very, very good, very thorough doctor. His longtime partner, Dr. Malhotra, Dr. Royer, Dr. Brusati, they are the doctor's doctors. Why do they call them this? Because about 250 local and regional doctors go to the doctor's doctors for their eye care. Now, are their eyes more important than yours? No, of course not. But it's a real indicator that they are legit when other doctors go to them when they could go anywhere in the world for their eye care. Whether you're there for a comprehensive exam or you're there for a surgical consultation on LASIK or cataracts, you're going to be treated with respect and professionalism every single time. Call 314-966-5000 or log on to youridoc.com. That's 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com for the fine doctors at Ophthalmology Associates and the Cornea and Laser Vision Institute. 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
Italian subs for your finance team at Chicago. Easy Cater. Burritos for your call center crew in Plano. Easy Cater. Bagels for your sales reps meeting clients in Charlotte. Easy Cater. Hot chicken sandwiches for your third shift warehouse workers in Memphis. Easy Cater. Your teams may be spread out across the country, but you've got one platform to feed them all, whenever and wherever they work, with food they love from favorite restaurants. Easy Cater. Food for the workplace, all in one place. Order now at easycater.com.
At 7:30, we have sunny skies, 38 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Scott Jagal. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, that crash is still out on the shoulder, westbound 64. The only one we've had, it was initially in the center lane, westbound 64 at Boyle. They cleared it to the shoulder, so things have thinned out through there. In fact, the volumes just sort of pushed west, so now we're just looking at slow traffic from west of Hampton to about Bellevue, really, and then it sorts itself out if you're coming in on eastbound 64, while South 61 crossing over onto 64 to about Prospect, not even quite Prospect. It's a little slow. It's heavy from Clarkson most of the way into 141, a little slow down at Clayton Warson after that. Northbound 270, there's some slow stuff approaching Tesson Ferry, just north of Gravois, Doherty Ferry up to Clayton Road, and a little slow again at 64. So just a couple of busy spots there. Northbound 55, the usual heavy traffic in the work zone, Bayless rather, up to River to Pear, but then you're on the go after that. And we still look great downtown westbound. No delays across the Poplar or Mutual Veterans Bridges so far. Next update is 7:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We're expecting mostly sunny skies today, breezy this afternoon with a high of 48 degrees. It'll turn colder overnight, low of 23. And then tomorrow, sunshine mixing with clouds and colder, a high of 38. 39 now in Florissant, 36 in St. Peters, and 38 degrees downtown at the Arch.
The time is 7:32. A Metro East man is jailed, accused of secretly taking photos of women inside a Washington University library restroom. 30-year-old Dennis Dill of Belleville is not a student at WashU.
St. Louis County Prosecutor Melissa Price-Smith says Dill is on probation for similar conduct at a school in St. Clair County, Illinois.
To me, it shows that he's escalating his behavior, that he is not concerned at all that he's currently on probation, which gives us even more concern that he just continues doing what he was doing.
Dill's charged with 15 counts of privacy invasion for the WashU allegations. His bond set at $100,000.
A massive new housing development is coming to North St. Louis County.
And it's bringing nearly 200 new homes to an area that hasn't seen major construction in a while. The city of Wellston and St. Louis County announced a partnership with McBride Homes to build 178 single-family homes in the Lulu Heights neighborhood. The $52 million project will transform 25 acres of vacant, publicly owned land into a new subdivision featuring both detached and attached homes. McBride's CEO, Jake Eilerman, calls it a significant investment in the region's growth. In addition to the houses, the project will include entirely new streets, sidewalks, and a public park with a pavilion. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
A St. Louis woman faces 5 felony charges for acts committed inside a Kirkwood restaurant. Kirkwood police say they arrested 31-year-old Aaliyah Moorhead Wednesday night after she allegedly threw a bowl of soup and a chair at a wasabi server and then fired a shot at him. Officers say the bullet narrowly missed a child and became lodged in a refrigerator. Moorhead was reportedly upset over a food order and that she thought employees were calling her names.
A baseball card institution is closing its doors after 36 years. Wally Militzer is the owner of 1 million baseball cards in Manchester. He's announced he's retiring at the end of the month. In an interview with the show The Card Life, he explained that his decision to open the shop back in 1989 was sparked by a classic movie.
Field of Dreams is on. So you know the routine there. If you build it, he will come. So I'm going, if I open it, they will come.
It's 7:34. The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
At 7:35, your money report is sponsored by Busey Bank.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Actress Jennifer Garner's snack company, Once Upon a Farm, is going public today. The company is expected to begin trading on the New York Stock Exchange this morning under the ticker symbol OFRM. Once Upon a Farm traces its roots to 2015 and makes kid-friendly pouches of fruit and veggie puree, as well as bars, frozen meals, and smoothie packets. Their food is in a number of major retailers, from Walmart and Target to Kroger. Getting you ready for your trading day, we're seeing a rebound for stocks after yesterday's sell-off. Investors have been worried about the disruptive impact of artificial intelligence. That sent the S&P 500 plunging 1.2%. By the way, the jobs report is usually the first Friday of the month, but it has been rescheduled to next Wednesday due to the partial government shutdown. And President Trump's tariffs are hitting champagne. French exports of bubbly to the U.S. tumbled 47% last quarter. Wine fell 39%, and perfumes were down 25%. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
For nearly 100 years, Busey Wealth Management has helped families and businesses make smart financial decisions that stand the test of time. From personalized investment plans to tax strategies that work for you, we take a big picture approach, connecting you with the right experts to help protect what you've built and plan for what's next. Busey Wealth Management, here for every chapter of your financial story.
NeoVitan began with one doctor's mission to help others feel their best. After years of caring for patients, Dr. Ken Ribicki, a St. Louis physician, created NeoVitan, a line of multivitamins designed with quality, safety, and everyday wellness in mind. Each formula is made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients to support real people living real lives. Discover the difference today with NeoVitan, available at Schnucks, Dierbergs, and neovitan.com. NeoVitan, trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
Unlock a brighter outdoor space in 2026 with Chesterfield Valley Nursery. Let us be your trusted partner for all your landscaping, lawn, and gardening needs, empowering you to create a haven that brings joy and serenity to your life. From landscape design to property maintenance to our garden center, we're here for you. Houseplants, tree shrubs, organic soil mixes, gardening and plant classes, and more. Chesterfield Valley Nursery's Garden Center has what you need no matter what the season. Visit us weekdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday hours start in March. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram for all class and sale updates.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Soulard is going to the dogs. Make sure to bring your four-legged friend to the streets of Soulard for the 33rd annual Purina Pet Parade, the world's largest costume pet parade. It all starts at 12th and Allen, Sunday, February 8th at 1 p.m. And KMOX's own Dave Glover will be leading the pack as the parade's Grand Marshal. Sign up today to march in the parade with your dog. The event supports Open Door Animal Sanctuary. For more details, PurinaPetParade.com. Don't miss this annual St. Louis Mardi Gras tradition, sponsored by Purina.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Vira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Bernie Nicholas joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
More news now at 7:39. A Colorado funeral home scandal has people talking.
In 2023, investigators discovered a stash of 189 decomposing bodies in a Colorado funeral home. They also discovered that the grieving families were given fake ashes. Derek Johnson thought he was fulfilling his mother's wish when he buried the ashes at his home on Maui's Haleakala volcano, the ashes he received from Return to Nature Funeral Home. Then the FBI called.
What Return to Nature gave me instead of my mom's ashes was Quikrete, the cement powder, basically.
Funeral home owner John Halford faces up to 50 years in prison when he's sentenced Friday. His then wife, Carrie, is scheduled to be sentenced in April. Johnson says despite the trauma experienced, he still has good memories of his mom.
The Mother's Day card that I wrote her, and I think I wrote I love you in there like 20 times. All I can say is I love you, 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 I love you.
I'm Donna Warder.
It's 7:40. Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, the peak rush hour time right now, Scott, and we don't look all that bad. I do see one. I can't tell what lane's blocked. We do have an incident, though. It looks like eastbound 64 just immediately east of Clarkson, between there and Chesterfield Parkway East. Traffic's just barely moving through there. In fact, it's backed up at Chesterfield Parkway West on eastbound 64. Out west, southbound 61 on eastbound 64, not even the Prospect's a little slow. And east of Clarkson, you just got the slow traffic from 170 Big Bend. Westbound 64, Clayton Skinker through Bellevue's a little slow. South 270, Ladue to 64 is busy. Eastbound Highway 70, a little busy past 370 5th Street to the Blanchette Bridge. And there's a slowdown, Lucas Hunt through Jennings Station. Northbound 270, slow as you merge on with 55 at Gravois, north of Big Bend up to Clayton Road. After that, it's not as bad. Northbound 55, Bayless Weber, a little busy there. And it's just a touch slow westbound 64 on the Poplar. Next update is 7:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
But my lips are turning blue. Are they fast?
My darling, Jerry Kelly can install a new furnace tomorrow, no matter what day tomorrow is, even if we call late at night.
You are my hero.
Fast and they're good and they got it going on. JerryKelly.com.
Well, if you're sick of the cold, dry weather, it looks like we may get a reprieve over the weekend. Let's get the latest now from AccuWeather's Joe Lundberg.
Yeah, it'll stay dry through the weekend, but the cold will be in retreat starting Sunday afternoon. Today, kind of mild compared to where we've been. We'll see sunshine for the most part, but the breeze will pick up as a front comes through the high into the upper 40s. Behind that front, it turns colder tonight. By morning, we're down to 23 with clear to partly cloudy skies. Sun will mix with clouds tomorrow. Definitely a chilly start to the weekend. Our high stays in the upper 30s, but then the cold air starts to retreat more noticeably on Sunday. With some sun, we warm to 53, and then we jump into feeling like spring early next week. Sunny skies Monday, low to mid 60s, 60s on Tuesday, but clouds increase and there could be an afternoon shower. Right now across the area, it's pretty nice out there. It's 40 degrees in St. Peter's. It's 39 in Florissant, and we're at 40 degrees downtown at the Arch under mainly sunny skies. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm Joe Pott. We're talking Cardinals and spring training. It's right around the corner, and it's coming up in sports.
It is 7:43. One ransom note deadline has passed. There is another one on Monday as the family of Nancy Guthrie once again pleads for her return. We have more from CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti.
Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly.
Cameron Guthrie, the brother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, made a second appeal on behalf of the family for the return of his mother, who authorities believe was abducted from her Tucson home early Sunday morning.
We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward.
The family released the video Thursday at 5 p.m., meeting the first of two deadlines detailed in an apparent ransom note, according to the FBI.
President Trump has unveiled a new website designed to help Americans save on prescription drugs.
It's called TrumpRx.gov.
The site doesn't sell medications, but lists dozens of them at reduced rates and suggests where to buy them. Users can print out coupons to use at pharmacies.
Americans have long been paying the highest drug prices anywhere in the world, while other countries often paid pennies on the dollar for the exact same drugs.
But researchers say most of the drugs on TrumpRx.gov are covered through insurance. Most Americans' copays will cost less than the prices on the website. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Starting today, getting a license to drive in Florida will require speaking English. Cammie McCormick has more.
All driver's license exams will now be administered in English only. They had been offered in multiple languages with an option for an interpreter. Now, language translation services will no longer be permitted, according to a Florida state website. The new rules apply to all categories, from learner permits to commercial truck licenses.
A top official in Tequila, Mexico, accused of targeting actual tequila companies.
The latest to be arrested in Mexico's crackdown on cartel-related corruption, the mayor of Tequila. Officials south of the border accused Diego Rivera Navarro of shaking down tequila and beer companies in Jalisco state. Also in custody, the city of Tequila's public safety director, the property tax collector, and the director of public works. Mexico's security minister says all are under investigation for alleged ties to one of the country's most powerful cartels. Last year, Mayor Rivera Navarro pulled U.S. visas from members of a popular band after they displayed images of the leader of the Jalisco cartel at a concert. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
It's now 7:45.
Well, we keep the Cardinals talk going from last night's Countdown to Opening Day show here on KMOX and across the Cardinals radio network. Cardinals TV analyst Brad Thompson joined the show last night. Thompson, of course, a former Cardinal himself, was asked about what it's like for a player as the start of spring training approaches.
It's kind of what your role is, right? When you're going into spring training, how much of a footprint do you have at the big league level? And that's what's going to be so interesting about this season for the Cardinals. Look, there's not any huge footprints really when it comes to having a defined big league career. So for a lot of these guys right now, trying to put myself in their shoes, I bet there's a ton of excitement because of all the opportunity that is there, and probably some nerves, right? Like there's an exciting time to get some jobs, to win some jobs, and essentially to lose a job at some point if you don't perform at the level you want to perform. But if you are a young player, this is the right place to be right now, and the Cardinals have a lot of those guys.
Thompson also talked about the Cardinals staff and how they evaluate players and how that varies depending on that player.
A lot of times, like there might be players that Ollie and Heim in the front office might want to give more time to, but you could see that they're mentally defeated. Like there are times where that happens, where you just kind of got to give a guy a break. And I know that a break sounds terrible when you're talking about sending a guy to AAA as a break, but there are times where you have to do that. So I feel like that is really a case by case, because right now, look, we all know where the Cardinals nationally are expected, and surely internally the expectations are going to be a lot different. They believe that they're going to compete and hopefully have a chance to win a division. But right now, this is a season for young guys to be able to prove what they have. So on an individual basis, you try to run these guys out there, get them reps, but you also have to listen to what they're saying, what they're doing, and then what the guys behind them are doing. So I really do believe that this is a case-by-case thing. I think that Ollie and his staff do as good of a job as any other staff in baseball of coaching at this level and communicating at this level.
The entire conversation with Brad Thompson is available at the Cardinals Conversations tab on KMOX.com. Tomorrow it's Billikens basketball here on KMOX. It is the Billikens and LaSalle at 2 o'clock at Chaifetz Arena. That game is completely sold out. Billikens 22-1 overall, 10-0 in the Atlantic 10, 16 straight wins for St. Louis University. Again, tickets sold out, but you can listen right here on KMOX with Bob Ramsey and Earl Austin Jr. It begins with the pregame show at 1:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
In times that feel uncertain, music can bring us together. Join the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra for Prokofiev and Childs' Anthems of Resilience. Experience a shared journey of hope through Prokofiev's Symphony No. 5, Rena Esmail's Remember, and Billy Child's Diaspora, featuring saxophonist Stephen Banks. February 6th and 7th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Two legendary bands. One massive night of classic rock. Foreigner, performing the songs that defined a generation. You're as cold as ice. And Leonard Skinner, bringing Southern rock anthems to St. Louis. Foreigner, Leonard Skinner, coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater August 6th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 7:50. Time to check on the roads with Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, I watched the emergency crews respond for this crash. I'd mentioned Scott on eastbound 64 east of Clarkson. It looks like they're parked in the left lane now. So left lane blocked just as you get over the crest of Clarkson Road. Traffic's jammed back to about Boone's Crossing now on eastbound 64. You get around that, and it's still slow 170 into Big Bend. Westbound 64 Hampton out to Hanley, slow. South 270 approaching Olive down to Ladue is busy. Eastbound Highway 70, slow stuff. K to TR Hughes, almost all the way to 79. Approaching 94 up to the Blanchette Bridge is kind of busy. If you're on northbound 270, we have a crash. Midway from 55 up to Tesson Ferry, they're blocking the right lane, so that's jamming the 55 ramp back. Not quite to Mattis, but it's getting pretty close. Then after that, North 270 is still slow at a couple of spots, several spots really, north of 44 all the way up to Ladue. Eastbound 44, the Laclede Station exit's backed up, maybe signal problems there, so traffic is slow, at least in the right lanes back near Elm. Northbound 55, Bayless up to River to Pear heavy. Westbound 64 just a little slow approaching the Poplar. And southbound 255, we had a crash. South of 64, a little delay there. The left lane is blocked. Next update at 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Mostly sunny skies for your day today. Breezy this afternoon with a high of 48 degrees. It will turn colder overnight. We're expecting an overnight low around 23 for tomorrow. Sunshine mixing with clouds, colder, a high of 38. And then we get a warm up again on Sunday, a mix of clouds and sun with a high of 53. Currently, we have sunny skies, 38 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
The news continues at 7:52. There's a push to enact tougher penalties in Illinois for domestic violence cases.
The current law is not addressing this crisis situation.
Several Republican lawmakers in Springfield, including Senator Darby Hills, are behind proposals that would see violations of orders of protection elevated to felonies.
These stronger penalties are not just about punishment. They help prevent immediate retaliation, and they give victims critical time to get services, to provide a safety plan, and to get out of dangerous situations.
They say the goal is to amend, not contradict, the SAFETY Act Dakota Sebring is a survivor of domestic violence.
This is about prevention, accountability, and finally giving victims the protection and safety that our laws are supposed to guarantee.
Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Now AP's Lisa Dwyer reporting on the launch of a copy of the Wegovy pill.
Telehealth company Hims & Hers is launching a cheaper, off-brand version of the blockbuster weight loss pill Wegovy, just weeks after the drug's original manufacturer launched the reformulated drug, which was previously only available as an injection. The company says it will take legal action against the new pill by Hims & Hers, which it calls unapproved and inauthentic. Hims' new drug is a compounded medication, which means it's not subject to most federal drug regulations. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Investors will look to recover after a slide in Bitcoin triggered a sell-off of tech stocks. Jesse Mitchell has that story.
The value of Bitcoin slid Thursday, at one point selling for less than $61,000. That's now half its all-time high of more than $126,000, reached back in October of last year. The drop comes as tech shares also slipped in recent days, with economists suggesting investors may be pulling back from riskier assets.
We're getting a new look at what travelers may one day see when they pass through Chicago. There's a video preview of the next concourse at the city's busiest airport.
Welcome to the future of Chicago O'Hare International Airport.
That's the start of the clip that Aviation Commissioner Michael McMurray brought with him to the City Club this week, a nearly 2-minute-long video putting in motion some of the renderings we've seen of what will be known as Concourse D in Terminal 1.
Passengers arrive in a skylit, multi-level space shaped by gentle curves and landscaped forms.
The videos show people walking and sitting under trees and tree-shaped fixtures, which are designed to recall the fruit orchards that used to grow on the property. Remember, O'Hare used to be called Orchard Field. That's where the ORD comes from on your luggage tag.
At the south end of the concourse, the experience opens outward to views of the Chicago skyline.
The new concourse and its 19 gates are set to open in 2 years. You can check out the video through the link on our website. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
A much maligned name change has officially been trashed in the city of brotherly love.
Less than 4 months after the historic Philadelphia Museum of Art rebranded itself the Philadelphia Art Museum, they've officially switched back to the original. Museum director and chief executive Daniel Weiss tells the New York Times the back and forth was a misstep. In November, trustees ousted the museum's former director, who headed up the push for a name change. Locals had mocked the new name as the PHART Museum. Sound that out. Weiss says the new goal is to stabilize the museum and restore trust. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
It's 7:55.
Hey, Happy New Year, big boy. Hey, what's up, Izzy? Also known as the Kool-Aid Man. You got any New Year's resolutions?
I got one, Eddie. I've promised myself to spend more time on that toasty, warm, huge, heated outdoor patio of yours. It's nothing like having your coat off, drinking the coldest beer in town with hundreds of your family, friends.
Man, it is a toasted patio, and that's a great resolution. And, thanks for not mentioning things like weight loss and health kick. And those would be hard in Fast Eddie's. It'd be hard to lose any kind of weight or take away from anything when you got the 5-pound Fat Eddie burger, the hot chick on a stick, that big Elwood on a stick, and those succulent peel-and-eat shrimp.
Yeah, I am not losing any weight hanging around your place. I learned it's a lot easier just to make those resolutions simple and fun, buddy.
Man, and that's easy. You're right. That's a great resolution. So make your resolution fun. And head on over to Fast Eddie's Bon Air. You know where to go across that big, beautiful Clark Bridge and come into Alton, Illinois. So like Mr. Shannon always said, if you're 21 and in the mood, we'll see you at Fast Eddie's Bon Air.
Kool-Aid Man.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
The Humane Society of Missouri's 5th annual Day of Giving is coming up. On February 10th, you'll hear powerful rescue stories of animals fighting to survive and the life-saving work of the Animal Cruelty Task Force. These stories will be shared throughout the day on local TV stations and anytime at hsmo.org/dog. They remind us why your support truly matters. Donations are welcome anytime at hsmo.org/dog. That's hsmo.org/dog.
A couple minutes before 8 o'clock, Roger Brand with an update on the commute from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we saw this crash, Scott, on eastbound 64, just east of Clarkson, between there and Chesterfield Parkway East. Left lane still shut down, and eastbound 64 is a solid jam back through Boone's Crossing, between Longer and Boone's Crossing now, almost it looks like up to that point. Once you get around that, it's still slow from 170 to Big Bend, south 170 bogs down at Brentwood, westbound 64 Hampton through Bellevue's busy, south 270 north of Oliveville, Ladue slow, north 270. We still have this crash. The right lane is blocked midway up from 55 to Tesson Ferry, so it's backing up traffic onto 55. Those right lanes back to about Mattis. Once you get past that point, north 270 is still slow from Manchester up to Ladue. Eastbound 44 still delays east of Elman to Laclede Station. That Laclede Station exit is backed up. 55 north of Bales up to River to Pear is slow as well. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
This is Friday, February 6th. I'm Megan Lynch. Coming up on Total Information AM next hour, on the heels of a Missouri businessman saying he'd be interested in making a bid, KMOX's Michael Calhoun visits with Dr. Patrick Risch, director of the Sports Business Program at WashU, to find out if a sale of the St. Louis Cardinals is indeed a serious possibility.
I'm Scott Jagow at 8:24. Julie Smith from Webster University will discuss AI and actors.
Then near the bottom of the hour, we'll talk with CBS reporter Michael Wallace about the Nancy Guthrie investigation and the FBI's involvement.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Sunshine for the most part today and becoming breezy for the afternoon, high 48.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Another anguished plea to Nancy Guthrie's kidnapper.
We went to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
The 84-year-old son, Cameron, has posted a new video as the search for his mother enters its 6th day. CBS's Anna Schechter says investigators are working without key evidence from Nancy Guthrie's Tucson home.
The disconnection of the doorbell camera, the motion sensor that pinged to that camera inside, however, no video. We have a little bit more of an understanding of what was going on in the middle of the night, but no images point to a suspect.
Indirect nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran in Oman today didn't last much more than an hour. Will Todman at the Center for Strategic and International Studies believes Tehran is reluctant to make concessions.
In their mind, if they did compromise on their ballistic missiles, on their activities in the broader Middle East, that would leave them completely defenseless against other more powerful regional actors like Arab Gulf states like Saudi Arabia.
People from Ohio to Maine could be shivering through the coldest temperatures of the season over the next couple of days. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
The polar vortex plunges and the Arctic tundra comes rushing down into the eastern and northeast sections of the United States with temperatures that could be as much as 20 to 30 degrees below average for this time of year through the weekend.
Feels like temps could drop into the negative double digits. CBS News has just learned President Trump will sign an executive order today boosting Argentinian beef imports into the U.S. His efforts to bring meat prices down aren't going over well with American cattle ranchers. The president's new website offering cheaper prescription drugs is up and running.
.gov. The site doesn't sell medications, but lists dozens of them at reduced rates and suggests where to buy them. Users can print out coupons to use at pharmacies.
Americans have long been paying the highest drug prices anywhere in the world, while other countries often paid pennies on the dollar for the exact same drugs.
But researchers say most of the drugs on TrumpRx.gov are covered through insurance. Most Americans' copays will cost less than the prices on the website. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Don't have rhythm? Blame your birth mom.
Researchers in Italy played Bach piano songs for sleeping newborns while measuring their brain waves. The baby's brain waves showed signs of surprise when the rhythm of the songs unexpectedly changed. Previous research has shown even in the womb, babies can respond to music.
CBS's Michael George. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored.
At 8:03, we have sunny skies, 40 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, February 6th. I'm Megan Lynch. For the first time in years, a major private developer is betting big on Wellston. KMOX's Michael Calhoun has details.
McBride Homes is set to break ground on a $52 million development in the Lulu Heights neighborhood. The project is a collaboration between the city of Wellston, the Port Authority, and local nonprofits like Beyond Housing. County Executive Sam Page praises the deal, saying it will revitalize a community that has seen decades of neglect. Neosha Franklin, CEO of the Community Impact Network, says the goal is to create a neighborhood where the next generation can come back, put down roots, and raise their children. Along with 178 new homes, the project will fund new lighting, curbs, and utilities for the area.
An investigation underway following a fire at the makeshift warming shelter built by a Good Samaritan at the unhoused encampment at 10th and Cass in downtown St. Louis.
St. Louis Fire Captain Garen Mosby.
The fire was confined to the flooring. It is likely that the fire was intentionally set.
Fire investigators and St. Louis police have been called in. The Good Samaritan, known as Prop Man, built the plywood warming shelter. He told Mayor Spencer yesterday that he wanted the city to help him take it down because there were illegal things going on there.
He's extremely well-meaning and I think has a heart for the work and certainly some important skills that he's bringing to the table. We want to make sure that he has a path to doing that. I mean, working with our city's youth, the work he's doing is extremely admirable.
There were no reported injuries in the fire. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
Would-be burglars smashed a large glass window at a Pacific, Missouri car dealership overnight. The manager there says they didn't get anything. Our partners at Fox 2 reported the attempted smash and grab happened at Tyler Trinary Jeep Dodge Ram. The manager says this was the third time in recent weeks they'd been targeted. Keys and cars were stolen the previous times. A Metro East man is jailed accused of secretly taking photos of women inside a Washington University library's restroom. 30-year-old Dennis Dill of Belleville is not a student at WashU. However, St. Louis County Prosecutor Melissa Price-Smith says Dill is on probation for similar conduct at a school in St. Clair County, Illinois.
To me, it shows that he's escalating his behavior, that he is not concerned at all that he's currently on probation, which gives us even more concern that he just continues doing what he was doing.
Dill is charged with 15 counts of privacy invasion for the WashU allegations. His bond set at $100,000. The bass voice behind the legendary singing group The Fifth Dimension and St. Louis native Lamont McLemore has died at the age of 90. In an interview a decade ago with WGHT Radio, McLemore talked about growing up poor.
At one time, I used to read all these travel magazines and all. I said, Grandma, I sure wish I could go around the world like this, but I know I'll never be able to. She said, you know something, stand up. So I stood up. She said, now take a step. I said, I did. She said, now you one step closer. And I never stopped stepping.
McLemore was a 1952 graduate of Sumner High School. It's officially time for St. Louis native Cardinal Timothy Dolan to say goodbye to his flock in New York City. This afternoon at St. Patrick's Cathedral in Midtown Manhattan, the new Archbishop of New York will be installed. Former Joliet Bishop Ronald Hicks. KMOX religion editor Fred Bottomer has more.
Exactly 1 year ago to the day, Cardinal Dolan celebrated his 75th birthday and by church law had to offer the Pope his resignation. Now, on his 76th birthday, he'll take part in the elaborate service to install his successor. While Cardinal Dolan says he'll continue to live in New York City, he's not forgetting about St. Louis.
I'll be able to spend some more time at home with my beloved nieces and nephews and my brothers and sisters.
And Cardinal Dolan tells Fox News he looks forward to doing all the fun priestly things, like conducting masses and baptisms and weddings, along with some possible speaking gigs. He'll remain eligible to take part in any possible papal conclave until he reaches the age of 80. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
From the KMOX business desk, large data centers could be banned permanently in St. Charles. The city says it's considering the ban because of concerns about water use, electricity use, and noise. Under the city's proposal, smaller data centers would still be allowed. A public meeting about the issue set for Monday night at City Hall. Coming up on Total Information AM here on KMOX, there's a billionaire who says he wants to buy the St. Louis Cardinals. Michael Calhoun will have more on that for us. Plus, we'll get the latest on the Nancy Guthrie investigation at the bottom of the hour from CBS News. It's now 8:08, traffic and weather in 2 minutes.
It's a great time, if there's ever a great time, to purchase a furnace or an air conditioner. I know it's winter. We got some great pricing. You can get 0% financing. So if you have been told that you need a new furnace, definitely give me a call. I could probably save you lots of money. Get a second opinion. Call me. Next day installs for your furnace, so you won't be without heat very long. A furnace average install about 2-3 hours for a furnace. So not a big issue to do it now. And like I said, great pricing. So if that's you, call me. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Just the easiest number. And there's one. 314-293-2600. Again, 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, it is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-990-1551. That's 800-990-1551.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's 8:10. It hasn't been too bad out there on the roads, but let's get the latest from Roger Brand on your Friday morning. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, for most folks it hasn't been, but we've got a couple of problems now for folks coming out of St. Charles County, Megan. Crashes on eastbound 64 and eastbound 70. The eastbound 64 one I've been talking about between Clarkson and Chesterfield Parkway East, left lane shut down, traffic's jammed near Boone's Crossing. And if you're eastbound on Highway 70 now, we have a crash at 94, and traffic is backed up west of Zumbel on eastbound 70 right now. It's still slow after that. Approaching our city into 270, had a report of a minor incident there as well, I believe. North 270, as you ramp on from 55, still a little slow. They did clear that crash north of there, however. North of Manchester up to Ladue, still busy. South 270, south of Howell to Ladue, still slow. Eastbound 64, 170 and Big Bend heavy. Westbound 64, Hampton to Hanley is heavy. Eastbound 44, east of Elmdale, Cleat Station, that exit's been backed up for a while. I'm not sure why. And we have an incident now. Westbound 5570, it's either a stall or a crash at the Keebler overpass. Traffic is jamming just west of 159. Next update at 8:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sunshine for the most part today. It'll become breezy this afternoon, or high 48. It'll remain breezy early tonight, clear to partly cloudy and colder later tonight, though 23. Sunshine mixing with clouds tomorrow. A chilly day, high only 38. Sunday, clouds and some sunshine and becoming warmer. The afternoon high 53. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We do have sunny skies, 42 degrees in Florissant. It's 38 in St. Peter's, 40 degrees downtown at the Arch. This is Total Information AM on 104.1 FM KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. Washington, Missouri billionaire David Hoffman. You know his name from his company's recent purchases of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch parent, a large swath of Augusta wine country, and even Oberweis Dairy. Now he says he wants to buy the St. Louis Cardinals. KMOX's Michael Calhoun called up Patrick Risch, director of the sports business program at Washington University, to find out if a Redbirds sale is indeed a serious possibility.
Well, there's been speculation that the Cardinals were thinking of selling. That's been discussed many times over the last several years, and interesting time to buy in. Revenue streams, at least with the local media revenue, are going to be lower than they've been in the last several years because of the disruption to the cable sports industry. So interesting time to come in, but nonetheless, not terribly surprising to me based on some of the murmurs we've heard over the last few years about the DeWitts looking to sell.
Is there an advantage to coming out publicly like this, or why do you think he might publicly declare this?
Good question. Oftentimes, many of these deals are done kind of behind the scenes, and you don't announce that you're moving forward oftentimes unless there is truly steam behind it. We've seen, certainly the Taylors, I don't think would have moved forward publicly with their interest in professional soccer if they didn't think they were going to get across the finish line, which they certainly did. We see in other markets that, typically speaking, you're not making a public announcement. Even in Kroenke's case, making the announcement of buying land in Inglewood, well, that wasn't kept a secret, and that certainly was the death knell of the Rams in St. Louis. So we know that when organizations and owners go public with these sorts of things, or potential owners, it usually means where there's smoke, there's fire.
Now, we just had the Hoffman family buy into the Pittsburgh Penguins, or buy the Pittsburgh Penguins. Any kind of difference between hockey and baseball, or any maybe concern with digesting, multiple franchises? Then again, we see the rise of, the portfolio companies like Fenway Sports Group. So maybe that is the trend.
Well, we've seen portfolios with those groups. Also, Tom Dundon, who owns the Carolina Hurricanes, just purchased the Portland Trailblazers from the Paul Allen estate. So this is not unprecedented to see cross ownership across different leagues. And, obviously the business of hockey and the business of baseball are very different, where baseball's national media contracts certainly much larger. The sport of baseball itself, of course, playing in outdoor stadiums, whereas, with being in a hockey team, you've got the ownership and you have arenas where you can have events year round. So definitely a different dynamic. You would think that baseball, normally you would say baseball is a better business to be in. That being said, all of baseball is dealing with losses in local regional money right now, with the exception of the major markets in New York and Los Angeles.
And Hoffman is a local from Washington, Missouri, just took over as chairman and majority owner of Lee Enterprises, the owner of the Post-Dispatch. We've talked about all the various local investments he has. Does it matter to have hometown ownership of a team like this?
Not that the Cardinals were in jeopardy of being relocated to another market, but I do believe that it is always beneficial. It's certainly a plus factor to have someone that has local ties, more commitment to the community, more engaged with the community, understands how to reach the community. And certainly all of those things right now, if ever, have never been more important than with this particular Cardinals organization that is really going to need to do a lot of community work to kind of build back fan interest in light of what's happened over the last few years.
Just in terms of the hierarchy of baseball valuations, where do the Cardinals tend to fall these days?
Well, my guess is that they would fetch a sales price somewhere between $2 and $2.5 billion, and that's based on the fact that if you look at, of course, there's different agencies now like CNBC, Forbes, Sportico that put out their franchise valuations according to CNBC, and the group Mike Ozanian runs their valuation is currently around $2.4 billion. That is 12th in the league according to their rankings, but that was before we saw this further reduction and erosion of the local regional TV money that the Cardinals will be observing now that Main Street is going to be liquidated, the company that owns FanDuel Sports Midwest. So I do think that it's going to be somewhere in that $2 to $2.5 billion range. Keep in mind that larger markets in Texas and the Los Angeles, Anaheim team, the former Anaheim team, the Angels, they are all in that $2.6, $2.7 billion range. And I wouldn't think that the Cardinals would fetch something in that ballpark just because those are much larger markets than St. Louis.
That's Dr. Patrick Risch, director of the Sports Business Program at WashU, with KMOX's Michael Calhoun. In other business news, HOK, one of the world's largest architecture firms, commits to staying in the Peabody Building in downtown St. Louis for several years. And that's not the only business.
We estimate that we'll bring an additional 234, to be exact, jobs to downtown St. Louis over the next 10 years. Yeah.
Partner and Chief Growth Officer Missy Kelly at Anders across the street in the Bank of America building on Market committed to 10 more years downtown.
When a company says yes to downtown, they are saying yes to the St. Louis region. And I am so proud to work for a company that is committed to downtown, to being part of the solution. And when a company like HOK that has the brand and the credibility says yes to downtown, that's exponential.
Matt Rath started his business with a food truck. A pandemic later, he opened up his U Craft Cafe, also in the Peabody building.
I've quadrupled my square footage from 2,000 square foot to about 8,000 square foot downstairs. In that time, we projected about a 50% growth from down there to up here. Boy, was I wrong. We have 120% growth.
Rath says on the weekend, his business enjoys the tourism, and Monday through Friday, it's the business community. And don't forget a big event taking place in St. Louis this weekend, the country's largest pet parade set to take over the streets of Soulard. The Beggin' Pet Parade, a staple of St. Louis Mardi Gras, famous for its massive turnout of costume canines. Purina's Dan Kohler says the event actually holds a spot in the history books.
We are a Guinness World Record holding event. The most dogs in costume attire set that record back in 2012 with 1,326 dogs wearing costumes parading around the streets in Soulard.
This year's parade kicks off Sunday at 1 p.m. KMOX's Dave Glover is this year's Grand Marshal. Still ahead on Total Information AM, some actors are fighting back against AI use of their names. They're trademarking themselves. We're going to talk about that with Webster University media instructor and author Julie Smith. Plus, we're going to get the latest on the Nancy Guthrie case. The family has issued another online plea for their mother's kidnapper to contact them. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace is going to join me at the bottom of the hour to give us the latest on that case. First, though, we need to get the latest on the roads because we've had some other problems pop up, especially if you're coming in from St. Charles County. Let's get the latest from Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, you're right, Megan, and it's double trouble for folks on eastbound 70. I mentioned a crash at 94. It's blocking a couple lanes, so eastbound 70 is a solid jam at Cave Springs up to that one, and then it jams just east of the Blanchette Bridge because the center lanes are blocked. Looks like the right lane's open and the center lane's blocked and left lane's open on the other side of it. So it's right in the middle of the highway. That one's eastbound 70 before 270. Southbound 270, we've got all lanes temporarily stopped for a crash south of Ladue. They're going to try to clear it to the shoulders. So southbound 270 right now is a solid jam back through Olive. Good news on eastbound 64. They cleared the crash east of Clarkson. It's still a solid jam, though, east of Long Road most of the way to Clarkson. It opens up as it gets to the top of the hill. Westbound 64, McCausland out to Big Bend's a little bit busy. North 270, the only delays is just past 64 up to Ladue, looking at that southbound crash. Eastbound 44 is still heavy approaching Laclede Station. That exit's been backed up. There may be signal problems there. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Sponsored by Kalshi. Trade on anything. The big game is here, and now you can trade on football legally nationwide on Kalshi. Right now, New England is trading at 32% to beat Seattle. A $100 trade pays out $289. Use code FAN to get $20 when you trade 100. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Mostly sunny skies today, a high of 48 degrees. It will be breezy this afternoon, and then it will continue into the evening. Clear to partly cloudy overnight and cold, and an overnight low of 23 degrees. For tomorrow, sunshine mixing with clouds, a colder day, a high of 38. And then we're back to warmer weather on Sunday, a mix of clouds and sun, a high of 53. Right now, we have 42 degrees in Florissant, 38 in St. Peters, and sunny skies, 40 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Hi, Margaret with Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano. Our St. Louis Baseball Cardinals reset last season. Now they're planning for the long term. Have you thought about a long-term plan for your family? A will, a trust, powers of attorney? Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano can guide you with a personalized estate plan. Sign up for our free webinar on our website, yourestateMatters.com. Learn more about estate planning, get some answers, list your questions, then schedule a consultation. You can plan for your family, your favorite charities, taxes, your long-term care, and even your pets now, before the courts do it for you later. Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano, yourestateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo.
One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
This isn't your typical lunchtime baseball chatter. This is the Gas House Gang.
I'll say this. Here's my perspective.
Tom Ackerman, Chris Ronti, Mike Claiborne, and Bernie Miklasz bring smart, informed Cards talk.
Are we the Gas House Gang? Are we the Gas House people and everybody listening is the gang?
Everybody is the Gas House Gang. You want real Cardinals conversation? You're in the right place. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of baseball.
I'm Megan Lynch, and you're back with Total Information AM on KMOX. I have Julie Smith. She's an author and a constant guest here on KMOX. We love her because she runs down all the media that we consume and helps us really discern it. She's an instructor at Webster University. Julie, one of the things that we have watched closely as you've come on the show is this issue of AI use and how it affects public figures. For example, I remember the story with an actress who's Scarlett Johansson, whose voice was used, by ChatGPT, I think is one of the first models, and she fought back against it. But it's kind of this idea of how do you prove you are who you are and keep yourself and your identity? And apparently there's another actor who has gone to great lengths to try to make sure that AI can't use anything about him.
Matthew McConaughey has trademarked himself. So he's trademarked an image of him staring, an image of him smiling, an image of him talking, and of course, you know the phrase that he's trademarked.
All right.
Yeah, of course. And it's meant to stop AI apps from simulating his appearance or voice or likeness without his permission. So there are already laws in place that say that you can't imply that a celebrity is endorsing your product without their permission. But what's weird now, Megan, is anybody can create like an AI image of someone famous. That's easy, right? You could go to any AI image generator and say, create an image of George Clooney tying my shoes or something. With AI generating images like that, those images can be monetized. So it's not like the likeness is necessarily endorsing a product, but that likeness is helping someone make money. And so it's kind of murky now about where the law is as far as using someone's name, image, and likeness.
So I guess what we'll have to wait and see is if Matthew McConaughey turns around and sues anybody for trademark infringement and where it goes then.
Right. And I also don't know if trademark infringement is an international thing because, so much of internet content originates outside of the US. I think it'd be pretty interesting.
I feel like it kind of leaves the average American in the dust, though, because it's not like celebrities are the only ones that might have their image or their voice or anything like that duped by AI for commercial gain.
Well, what's interesting is that all that voice cloning AI sites need is 15 seconds of your voice to clone your voice. So your voice could easily be cloned, Megan, and used and used to do something else. And so where is your legal protection And like you said, how do you prove that your voice is actually you? We're like entering this weird phase where it's impossible to tell what is real and meaningful and true.
And I feel like we've been talking about this for at least a decade now, of the fact that laws and regulations just can't keep up with technology at this point.
They cannot keep up with technology. And of course, here in the States, we have the First Amendment. A lot of laws that are being voted on use really vague terms. And I've had school districts say, Julie, can you come and help us with an AI policy? And I always say, okay, but the minute that AI policy comes off the printer, it's going to be outdated. That's the trickiness in all of this. It's moving so quickly. Nobody can really keep up.
All right, Julie, thank you so much.
You bet.
That's Webster University media instructor and author Julie Smith. It's now 8:28, and this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, St. Louis City SC fans, mark your calendars now. The Boys in Red return to Energizer Park to kick off Season 4 Saturday, February 21st. And you could be there for the dawn of a new golden era of St. Louis soccer. Go to stlcitysc.com/tickets and reserve your seat now for the MLS home opener versus Charlotte FC. Limited quantities remain. See you soon, St. Louis.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
8:30, let's see if things are getting any better on 70, especially Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
No, not so far, Megan. In fact, we might have 3 different crashes now because I'm starting to see a little jam at Cave Springs now, and then it opens up briefly, and then it's still jammed west of Zembel up to 94 where a couple lanes were closed for a crash, and they still have the center lanes closed for the other crash that we have eastbound 70 just before 270, and that backup is at the Blanchette Bridge. I also mentioned South 270. We had a crash, and it's still out there. It was completely shut down. Now it looks like the right center lane is getting through, but that's it. South 270. This is between Ladue and 64. South 270 now is a solid jam midway between 364 and Olive. Down to that one. Northbound 270 is slow. Manchester up past that southbound crash scene. Eastbound 64 just heavy from Clarkson to about Timberlake. That's from an earlier crash. Westbound 64, McCausland headed out to Hanley. That's kind of slow as well. Next update at 8:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, we're expecting a mostly sunny day today. It will be breezy this afternoon, a high of 48. Right now, sunny skies, 40 degrees downtown at the Arch. The family of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie renewing their plea for their mother's kidnapper to contact them. Guthrie's brother Cameron posted a second plea on social media Thursday on behalf of the family. I'm joined now by CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing fine. What is the latest in this case?
Yeah, so Cameron Guthrie, Savannah's sister, put out this video last night asking the kidnapper or kidnappers to reach out so they can move forward. Apparently, that ransom note that the family and some media outlets got, there was a note in there that basically this is the only time that they're going to be contacted. So the family's saying, please reach out to us again. We need to find out how to get in touch with you. We need to know that our mother, 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, is still alive and okay. So that was the plea there last night. But police have said at this point they have neither a suspect nor a person of interest that they've identified.
Has there been any question about the legitimacy of the ransom notes that were received by media outlets?
Yes. There are a couple of mentions of specific things like an Apple Watch and a smashed floodlight at Guthrie's home that initially led police to believe, or lead anyone to believe that it might be legitimate. But the FBI says those details could have been known to the public. Agents didn't explain how the public would know about those particular things, but they are still not 100% convinced that this is an actual legitimate ransom note. We should also point out that a California man has been arrested for a fake ransom threat to Guthrie's relatives. He texted some of the family members asking if they had sent the Bitcoin that had been asked for. He even allegedly placed a 9-second call to one family member. Police traced that call and arrested him. It turned out he was just trying to get into all this to make a profit off the whole thing. So he was not actually involved in the abduction. He appears in court in LA later today on those charges.
What are officials saying about any hopes of finding Nancy Guthrie alive?
They're still hopeful. The sheriff there in Pima County, Arizona, said he believes that Nancy Guthrie is, his exact quote was, she is still out there. So they are still holding out hope that she is alive. Of course, as we know now, she did have some physical ailments. She had a pacemaker that stopped linking with an app on her phone early Sunday morning. So there's concern about that. We know that she has medication that she needs to take every day. Without that, she could be in some serious, health trouble. So time is of the essence here. And as these days tick away, there's growing concern about her health if she is indeed still okay.
CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace, thanks for your time.
Sure.
Your Money Report next here on KMOX.
Looking for your dream home in Wentzville? Welcome to Sutton Farms by Lombardo Homes, where community and comfort come together. Enjoy resort-style living with a private clubhouse, indoor courts, a splash pad, sand volleyball, walking trails, and even a dog park. Design your own custom home in our Parkside, Nature, or Tradition series, all within the top-rated Wentzville School District. Discover the perfect blend of small-town charm and modern convenience at Sutton Farms, located off Piney Road in Wentzville. Visit LombardoHomes.com to learn more.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at Amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Your Money Report now sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is Bloomberg Money Minute. Amazon is spending heavily on artificial intelligence, and investors are worried its colossal bet may not pay off in the long run. Shares are taking a hit this morning on its plans to spend $200 billion this year on data centers, chips, and other equipment. Still, Amazon's e-commerce operations generates most of its revenue, and sales in that business jumped 10% last quarter. It was the biggest sell-off for stocks in months. The Dow tumbled 593 points yesterday, while the S&P 500 plunged 1.2%. Concerns have been growing that artificial intelligence will disrupt entire industries, especially software companies. This morning, futures are higher. And ice, snow, and bitter cold has stressed America's power grid in recent weeks. Now, electric vehicles has started to fill in as emergency power sources. According to Cox Automotive, drivers have purchased about 630,000 EVs that discharge electricity at levels strong enough to power a home. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Hey guys, Glover here with my good friend John Moriarty. John and I have been friends and business partners for years now. He is the principal at E3 Consultant Group, and he is back in the DGS fold. So John, introduce yourself to the listeners.
I am so happy to be back and also happy to talk about our firm, E3. We have over 70 advisors, Dave, now in multiple cities, working with our clients on the wealth, tax, insurance, asset protection, business consulting side. One of my biggest passions right now is working with business owners and trying to help them reduce their tax liability, improve their cash flow for future generations.
I've known John for years and years and years now. John is a good guy, very smart, excellent pitcher in baseball. That means a lot to me. You have
those days are long gone.
You have a new book out.
We do have a new book out. It's called The Entrepreneur Playbook, written for business owners that have an entrepreneurial mindset. And the book should be dropping on Amazon probably in the next 30 days. And we've got white papers that are supporting it. A lot of that information is going to be on our website at e3wealth.com. But the key thing to me, Dave, is we try to keep creating educational tools for business owners, individuals, families, so that they can protect the purpose of their money.
So whether you are interested in classic personal retirement, business growth, or just an overall tax strategy, reach out to my friend John at e3wealth.com. Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
This is 104.1 FM KMOX. Here's what's happening. Toyota has reported a 43% drop in quarterly profit. The company estimates higher U.S. tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump erased $9.2 billion from its operating profit last year. Amazon sales surged 14% during the fourth quarter, helped by strong holiday spending. And last month marked the worst January for job layoffs since 2009, according to a new report from outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas. Roughly 40% of last month's layoffs can be attributed solely to Amazon and UPS. Let's get an update for you on the roads, especially the problems that we've seen on 70 at the end of the rush hour. Roger Brand has more from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, there's still no change, unfortunately, Megan, on all these trouble spots. If you're on eastbound Highway 70, you saw that crash at 94 blocking a couple of lanes. It's a solid jam at Cave Springs, and it's still backed up just east of the Blanchette Bridge through our city because of that crash between our city and 270, where they have several center lanes blocked. And it still looks like no change on southbound 270. Only the right center lane is open. Southbound 270 midway between Ladue and 64 because of an injury crash. Southbound 270 almost at a standstill south of 364 down to it. North 270 Gawkers backed up at about the Clayton Road overpass past that one. Eastbound 64 still a little slow between Clarkson and Timberlake from an earlier crash we had. The rest of the area highways, though, are in pretty good shape. Just a little slow down eastbound 64 on the Illinois side past Route 3 right now. I'm Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Time for the Friday edition of Hancock and Kelly.
You two belong together.
John Hancock, Michael Kelly on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Good morning and happy Super Bowl Friday, John Hancock.
I know it. It is a Super Bowl Friday. Very excited, although I don't know that this game has quite the pizzazz that past Super Bowls have possessed.
Yeah, I think that's right. But there is like a timestamp signature, right? Like, because once we get to the Super Bowl, we're getting closer to Easter.
Spring
training and pitchers and catchers reporting.
Yes.
And while we may not be as excited as we typically are in St. Louis for pitchers and catchers, it does mean summer's coming.
I am excited. I really think the Cardinals have turned the page here.
John.
This season's not going to be great, but it's a glimpse into the future, and a future that I think can be very bright.
So I guess
that's the
I like the optimism, but
yeah, buddy.
I would state that I've been doing this with you for almost 20 years, and every year you have the same optimistic thought, which I guess is a part of what baseball's all about.
It is.
Well,
everything's new. I love the spring. I love spring training. It's
Hey, lots to be optimistic about. There's a lot to be pessimistic about as well. And I just have to talk to you about these Epstein files.
All right.
Donald Trump is mentioned in the Epstein files 36,000 times. That's more times than Harry Potter is referenced in all 7 of the Harry Potter books. Yet he's telling us there's nothing here. He continues to say we should be moving on from it. The consequences across the world the repercussions are taking place. We see British monarch and political leadership going down. Why are Republicans who are so obsessed with the Epstein files so easily to look the other way on the fact that children were abused?
Some of it is team play. You know, there are folks that's my team, and so I'm going to defend it. Some of it is, there are millions of people in this country that believe Donald Trump is the greatest thing to ever happen to America. And so they are not willing to believe that he might be involved in something so nefarious as a child sex ring.
Yeah, but when you say team play, I guess you would argue that Bill Clinton is on my team. I have to tell you, if Bill Clinton was at this island, was mentioned 36 times, do it to him too.
Yeah.
All of them.
I'm right
matter.
there with you. I'm right there with you.
And I don't know if you saw some of the photos that came out because they weren't redacted. These were children.
Yeah.
These men were around children, and the president has brushed this off as if it's some, passive guy that he knew that he would occasionally see in the hall. That is not the case.
So I've not spent much, if any, time delving into this most recent release. But what I do find shocking is that there is no additional prosecutions based on the information that's been now made public. There are, far more than Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were involved in this thing.
Right.
And the fact that they're not being prosecuted, I think is disgusting.
Yeah, and I don't know. Nothing surprised me about the House of Representatives. It can change on a whim. Those folks get elected every 2 years. But there's senators that have a conscience there. There's a Supreme Court that has a conscience there. This man is licensed in so many places. I look at the people who've been appointed into government, who were obsessed with this issue, who are now carrying the water of Donald Trump. And I just don't get it. Even if it's team play, your team's still going to be in charge. And this is just, it's absolutely sickening to me. Now, I understand Comer, the House, what is he? The
Oversight Committee.
Has subpoenaed Bill and Hillary Clinton to show up. They've agreed to show up and want their testimony to be on television. Now he's rejecting that, after 6 months of saying they should come in here and talk, what are they afraid of? At the same day that Donald Trump's out saying, oh, Bill Clinton's a good dude. And Hillary, man, she gave me a good fight. He's trying to be chummy with these people. I just don't understand how anyone in good conscience, and that's including you, the listener, could stand by passively and watch this and think that this is acceptable, normal, and should be tolerated.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing normal about any of this that we're experiencing. I mean, this is an unprecedented time in American history that we are living through. And Lord willing, if the country survives another couple of 100 years, this era is going to is going to have a big chunk. It's going to have its own chapter, or maybe two, in history books about the United States of America.
Do Republicans not realize that they're going to lose control of the House, potentially control the Senate, and someday there's going to be a Democrat in that White House, and this behavior, this breaking of the norms, is going to come back at them?
Some do. Some do. I certainly do. I don't know if we've got time to go down this rabbit hole, but it has been my perception that this current Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is the weakest House Speaker in history. His utter incapacity to stand up to the executive branch. The whole premise of the legislative branch is that they're a check on the executive and the judicial. and the absolute failure at any point, at any level, on any issue for the legislative branch to put a check on the executive is historically unprecedented.
And and it's not just him, John. You see senators, folks who know better. I mean, some of those guys are 80 years old. They've been there forever, and they're going along with this. It makes no sense to me. Hey, we've got happier topics to talk about in the next segment because it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Our NFL insider joins us next on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Universal Windows Direct. Hopefully after 25 years together, you trust me that I only represent good companies. Universal Windows Direct is great. They have a great deal for the DGS audience. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. 0% interest for 36 months so you can spread out your payments, same as cash. Also $500 off your home improvement project. 314-334-2522 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Setting goals for retirement is one thing, but knowing how to achieve those goals is another.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
For tips on building a better nest egg, tune in to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All, Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX. You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
St. Louis, are you ready to go Hardy?
I woke up on the wrong side of the truck bed.
The country rock hitmaker behind Truck Bed. Wait in the truck and one beer. He's bringing his No Holds Barred live show to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater June 5th. With special guests Cameron Whitcomb and McCoy Moore. Hardy, live, loud, and unapologetic. One night only. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
The splendor, the spectacle, the specialness of the Super Bowl arrives in just over 48 hours. Who will emerge as the champion of the world? Now, with 59 Super Bowl Sundays written in the annals of history, the 60th version approaches an expectant world. The Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots, who will emerge as the apex of the gridiron. And joining us is our NFL insider from Chicago, Illinois, John Hancock. Welcome.
Gentlemen, great to be here. Great to be here.
Well, everyone who listens to Hancock and Kelly when we go to the NFL Insider knows you are like the gospel when it comes to what's going to happen in the NFL. Who's going to win Super Bowl 60, John Jr.?
Yeah, so look, last year I gave the people the Eagles in a route down to the Cooper DeJean pick six. And look, this year it's simple. A lot of people think this is an easy game. I disagree. The ghost that Sam Darnold saw as a New York Jet will come back to haunt him once again in Santa Clara. Excuse me, will I become the inverse of Paul Revere? The Patriots are coming. The Patriots are coming. The Patriots are coming. The team of the 21st century is back from dynasty to dynasty. Michael, they are inevitable. The injustice of Stafford's MVP will be avenged. Drake May is going to rise up. The Patriots, 31-17.
He's right.
31-17.
I think he's right. And
Yeah?
of course he's right. He's the NFL insider.
Well, he
but
is.
The Patriots are going to win this game.
Well, what about the Seattle defense? I mean, I don't know that the Patriots have faced that many stellar defenses. They had a pretty weak schedule. You're confident they're going to be able to put 31 on the board?
So 31 may have been a bit of hyperbole, but look, I think Drake May can absolutely do it. The point is this game is not going to be close because Sam Darnold is going to shrink under the lights. And the Patriots had a very, very tough defensive matchups. They played some jokes of quarterbacks, to be fair, in the playoffs, absolutely. But the Texans, they were no slouches. Very sharp defense. The Broncos, that's all they had. They didn't have a quarterback, kept that game close with Sean Payton and that stellar defense. And even round one, Chargers. Their defense was humming under Harbaugh. So this is a battle-tested team. They can win down. They can win dirty. The Seahawks, they wanted to shoot out with the Rams. I give them credit. Sam Darnold, best game of his career. Can he do it twice? I don't think he can.
The coaching matchup, I think, is interesting in this game. Do you have an edge on one coach or the other?
Yeah, so these coaches, it's, breath of fresh air, seeing some new names out there and two likable guys on the sidelines, especially coming from last year where we had Andy Reid and Sirianni. But I'm giving the edge here to Vrabel. I think that having the experience of winning a Super Bowl as a player, he's turned this thing around immediately in New England. I think the experience of being a champion in the same city with the same team is going to be invaluable. He'll be able to rally the troops.
The Patriots have had to go cross country to participate in this Super Bowl. It was just a 30-minute flight for the Seattle Seahawks. Any way that geography could play a role in how these two teams perform?
I don't think so. I think the travel time aspect is often overblown. But here's a fun fact for you. How about this is the third Pope in a row. Whenever we've had a new Pope, the Seahawks make the Super Bowl.
That's interesting.
That really is something. This game, I don't know, at least for me, and I wonder if many other people, it just doesn't have, this matchup just doesn't have the pizzazz. Is it because of the quarterbacks, or what's lacking here that we've seen in past Super Bowls?
Well, I think the Seahawks certainly, as a team that America's been sleeping on all year. I mean, they've been arguably the best team in the league for the majority of the season. But Sam Darnold, a lot of people, he doesn't give the same spark that the Mahomes and Allen and Lamar give you on that side of the field. They've been winning games. Not a lot of superstars. I mean, they got JJN, the wide receiver. He's been absolutely phenomenal. They're fun to watch, but they don't have the buzz. It might honestly go back to the old adage coming into play, the East Coast bias. People aren't really paying attention to what's going on out west.
Interested if you saw the interview yesterday with the GOAT, Tom Brady, who recently had his number retired up in New England, said he's a Patriot for life. They asked him who he was supporting in this Super Bowl. He never said the Patriots. What's up with this guy?
Yeah, I mean, I get he's a part owner, he's a broadcaster, but that was sad to see him playing the political answer there. I mean, be a human for once, Tom. That's this guy's issue. He just seems fake, and I always said he was going to have a weird career post-retirement. It seems like it's starting to trend that way. But just another plastic response from Tom Brady.
Plastic, he says. That's our NFL insider, John Hancock. Hey, I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm going to do it. Can you still recite the presidents of the United States in order?
Absolutely. I do it once a month just to keep myself honest.
Bring it.
George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, James K. Pollock, Zachary Taylor, Miller Former, Franklin Pierce, James Buchanan, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, Ulysses Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, James A. Garfield, Chester A. Arthur, Grover, Cleveland, Benjamin Harrison, Cleveland again. I don't know how great radio this is. I got to the second Cleveland. I think that's good enough for the audience.
You did fabulous.
That was impressive.
We've got about 30 seconds left here. Tell us, what is your favorite Bad Bunny song, and will you be
oh, yeah. I'd call him, Mallow Bunny personally, but I'm not looking forward to this Super Bowl. It's really gone to hell ever since Jay-Z took it over. I mean, I don't think I've enjoyed a Super Bowl since Shakira and J-Lo halftime. So, yeah, not looking forward to this. Great time to run to the store, pick something up.
That is our NFL insider, John Hancock from Chicago, Illinois. Chris and Amy are just around the corner, and we'll be with them for the first hour right here on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's Friday, so that means Hancock and Kelly are with us to start the show on a day in which the Winter Olympics opening